There we go. Right. This caught me by surprise. I thought we were starting in an hour, so live now. I'm gonna go get a drink. I was giving Raph a bath, so I'll go quickly finish that whilst people flock in. But yeah, we're live. I'll probably tweet out, I guess.
大家去哪里玩的？有没有来看比赛的？
正值五一假期嘛。
不知道今天的这个五一竞技场场下的观众朋友们这个做的怎么样？因为确实在这个假期当中呢，我觉得去线下看比赛也未尝不是一件乐事
啊，是可以安排成你假期里面非常不错的一个体验的。
是的，因为毕竟大家有很多时候，比如说你这个平时是上班上学啊，你未必这个有时间能够刚好卡得到这个晚上的时间啊。所以其实对于五一假期，这也是我相信这也是我们这个比赛日，比如说摊开4天的可能的原因之一吧。让大家能够在这个假期当中有更多的比赛可以看，而同时这一周也是最重磅的一周。我们在这一周之后，我们讲过很多次了，11支常规赛的队伍会最终确定谁终有机会进入季后赛，到底谁能够有机会去进入到上海大师赛。
对的，而且因为我们这个赛制在这里，其实也会有非常多的一个悬念在，真的是来到了最后一周，甚至还是有一些队伍。 到底能不能晋级，或者说有没有提前被淘汰，都不是确定的一件事。
Just check that this works too. Yep. Okay. And I'll run ads 2 now as well. 0 out of 100 ascended free. I hate my randoms. I mean, it was the start of a new act as well, so maybe it's been adjusted. I don't think it was for me, but might be for you considering how much you climbed, Wu. Yeah, BRB. I'm not going to be long.
其实是非常非常高的。那想问一下，有没有什么出奇制胜的法宝可以跟我们分享一下呢？
因为手枪的计算效率没有长枪来的那么快，所以我们经常会准备一些歪点子在操场上。
歪点子就是说，其实你们在之前针对于手枪局确实做了很多相应的训练和配合。对，我们一般一个手枪局会准备3到4天吧。哦，这么多，就是专门为了手枪局做的准备。对，确实。那今天也是你们常规赛的最后一场比赛了，面对这场比赛做了什么样的准备呢？我觉得更多是对大家心态上做好一个准备吧，因为毕竟面对对手是我们所有对手里面最强的，所以我希望就是大家心态上做好面对强敌的准备。 是的，是非常强势的对手，但同时也是你非常熟悉的对手。作为 EDG 曾经的助教，你对于他们肯定很熟悉。那今天想要战胜他们，你觉得关键点在哪儿？我觉得想要战胜他们，光靠针对是不够的。首先，更重要的是要做好自己。如果你为了针对他们，去丢掉了自己的游戏内容的话，反而是得不偿失，那就更难赢他们。明白，不要为了针对对手而忘记自身应该做的东西。那今天比赛加油，希望你们给我们呈现一场精彩的比赛。
好的，谢谢维嘉对于索难的这个采访。我们来看一下 AG 的阵容 ：Spitfires、Bont、索难、Delby、Monk 和他们的2位教练 Ego 跟 Happy。
是的。那刚刚的一个采访里面，其实也问到了剑九，其实待会儿也会有看到的数据是 AG 目前的手枪局确实是他们的一个非常强力的一个法宝，今天也是 EDG 需要去注意的一个地方。
没错，那我们也来看他们的对手 EDG 的一个赛前休息室的画面。
Hello， 大家好，我们来看下班。Hello，Smokey 选手。因为上周的比赛可能也是稍微有一点失利嘛，那经历了上场的失利之后，你们回去是如何调整和备战的呢？
我们调整了心理状态跟身体状态吧，然后我们也好好复了盘，然后找到那个输比赛的原因。
一次失利可能让你们可以更快的找到问题，并且更快的去进步。那下一个问题是由掌上无畏契约带来的粉丝提问，想问一下 Smokey 选手，因为今天面对到 SWOT， 那也是你们曾经的助教嘛，有没有什么话想要在赛前对他说的呢？
九哥从 EDG 离开，然后去 AG 当选手，然后重返赛场，他这个决定让我很佩服吧。但是今天这个比赛，我们会告诉他什么叫做年轻人。
哇，这个赛前狠话可以的，尊重，但一定是要全力以赴的。那目前 EDG 的状态可能对于稳住小组第一来说，可能稍微有一点没那么稳。那你们现在打算怎么做去稳住自己小组第一的位置呢？对于这个是有信心吗？
我们肯定是有信心的，就不会因为一次失利然后被打败吧。我们只会越挫越勇，然后直到到达那座山峰。
越挫越勇，期待一个更强的 EDG。今天比赛加油！
好的，也是感谢维嘉对于 Smokey 的采访。他们今天的先发阵容：球球、康康、浩、Nobody、Smokey， 然后以及 Margo 和 After。
是的， 那刚刚的话也采访到了 Smokey， 其实他们也说到了。EDG 虽然在国内的比赛里面，大部分时间是以胜利更多的，但实际上他们也遭遇过挫折，但是越挫越勇，找到自己的一个问题，然后发现并且改掉它，让 EDG 能够有更大的一个进步。而且刚刚也放狠话了，对吧？给剑九这边说，让你看看今天什么叫年轻人啊！
你这个年轻人给这个年长者上课啊，看看 EDG。我觉得我最关心的是他们在刚才说的话里面，包括说他们去总结或者说复盘到了一些输比赛的原因。因为这个其实我们外部和内部的视角是完全不一样的。对的，他们的队伍在这一周的总结里面，到底有总结出来是一些什么样的东西？可能不光光影响他们这一场比赛，因为坦白来说，对手的强度是不一样的。你在那一场总结的东西未必这场会用得到，但是它对于你在接下来季后赛，甚至可能在更长远的路上，对于 EDG 来说是非常重要的。当你输掉比赛之后，你需要去总结出来自己输掉比赛的原因，以及怎么去堵上这个漏洞。
对的，包括像其实刚刚 Alan 说到这个地方，就像他。上一场可能要面对体坛，下一场面对上 FunPlus， 实际上对手的这个整体实力会有一定的一个差距在，但是怎么样去做好自己的一个调整很关键。我们一起来看一下战队数据的对比情况，这也是刚刚聊到的 AG 这里的手枪局胜率来到了68%，在所有队伍里面排名第一，
这个非常夸张，
很夸张。
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I wasn't really expecting it to be on at this point. Happy partner anniversary. I know, I didn't expect it either. I wasn't really keeping track of it. But I don't know if it's today or whether it's yesterday, day before, because I didn't stream. Yeah, second to me. Good to know. Thank you. Is this match that in early order casters going to yap? Apparently, it's VLI were wrong on the time, but I don't think that the schedule was right either. Hey, Hazza.
好，我们来看一下赛前的关注选手，就关键选手。那其实我跟赛前
Let me just swap headphones just so I can side tone myself. Big ass difference for streaming. Just being able to hit myself even a tad is amazingly useful.
而 Smokey 他其实在EDG 经历了非常多位置的调整。他以前最早的时候也拿过一些主控场的英雄，但最近他算是正儿八经说 OK。
Feel out wrong, never, yeah. I mean, to be fair with stuff like this, I don't blame them for being wrong. It's a little bit 50-50, I suppose.
包括像其实可能这个数据版里面没有给到的是关于 KDA 的一个数据。当来到
I do want to see if
Smokey 选手有来到将近
China, if I just put in China, what shows up? Not
最高的，我觉得大家可以去注意一下。
VCT China?
KD 是 1.13， 但是他的 KDA 能来到将近
China
的时候，说明他其实会有非常多的助攻。那大家也可以翻阅一下，像最近的一个数据里面，他的助攻在整个队伍里面都是会领先非常多的。
就这也说明现在 EDG 在当 Smokey 去玩到，尤其是主烟的时候
，You would have thought that
好，我们来看一下在地图池的覆盖上面 ，EDG 现在
Valley Spot CN
比较均衡的，除了他们一直按掉的莲花古城以外
，You would have thought with anything that I would have typed in that it would have shown up, but I guess you know, Twitter per indie, sorry X Twitter per indie company.
在比赛里面拿出来的不是很
Yeah, it says it starts at 9 p.m. UTC plus 8. UTC is GMT. Usually it starts at 5, which is 10 our time, so yeah. Both today and tomorrow start at midday instead of 1.
他们最强的地图莲花古城恰巧是对面永班的图，就这张图你在打 EDG 的时候，你会默认你是看不见它的，
看不着的。
那这对于 AG 来说
How far would your EDG stock fall if AG beat them? Surprisingly, not that much. I think that all gamers have a really good chance today, really. I think it's actually like a really strong team that ultimately the only reason why they're not doing better is their own fucking downfall. Like, it's their own mental that stops them from performing well, right? So, for me, all gamers are in a good spot this game. You've just seen EDG lose to FPX. You've seen some of the things that EDG have struggled with. And whilst, you know, you barely get past against Nova, I still think that this is the kind of game that this All Gamers team are going to go all in for. It's just whether, if they get to 11 rounds and have the lead, are they going to get it onto 12? Are they going to win the map? Because Jesus Christ. The new explore part, which shows you grouped relevant tweets to your feed, is cool though. Yeah, it is AI, but I think one of those instances that AI is like fairly useful because it's like not. You want to hire people that could do like journalist pieces when there's a lot of like a lot of tweets about a certain subject. But generally, I don't expect Twitter journalists to be writing about EMEA results. So yeah, that's cool. That's the right direction I guess you want AI things to go into, just odd jobs. The AI thing's so bad sometimes though. Yeah. There's definitely been some like funny stories of it combining the wrong kind of tweets. Thank you, Fio. Fo. I guess it'd be Fo, wouldn't it? I really hope FPX keeps this form in Master Shanghai. Yeah, I think they would, to be honest. Let me just sort out my tabs. Pull this down a bit. Fio. Okay, yeah. Fiampi. What does AG need to secure playoffs? Is one map enough? We can check. Let's go to my favorite site for stuff like this. So the only team that's actually confirmed so far for China playoffs is FPX. But EDG, they do have 2 games this week. So I think if EDG win, they would be set for playoffs. But if they lose, they got Trace at the end of the week. Who's famous in all gamers? You could argue nobody, but if you're looking at like players that have played at international events, Bunt and Monk were on Attacking Soul when it went to Tokyo. Sword9 was the assistant coach of EDG. Spitfires was the substitute player for Rare Atom. Delby was just a really good player on 17 Gaming. And the coach, why does it not show up? Ego was the head coach of Attacking Soul 2. So if you're an Attacking Soul esports fan, the main like backbone core of the team is with them. And then it's just some like good players that were on like big teams but didn't do much on the big teams. At least they didn't play in the big games. They were either on the bench or they were like helping after for EDG. Yeah, all gamers. A win here would like pretty much confirm them for playoffs. A loss 3-2. I mean, pretty much it's like they have to get utterly destroyed and Titan Esports Club have to 2-0 when they play up against, I think they've got Nova, maybe Billy actually. I thought production broke there for a second. Yeah, it's starting now. It's the times on VLR and stuff were wrong. But I didn't know. It's like Saint only messaged me. I saw the stream go live, but usually it does go like how live 2 hours early. Because they do like a lot of their tech checks like 2 hours before the stream. And then they go into like a countdown and stuff. I'll just start this. Because I've got too many things open, it shouldn't be. Already buffering. Feels bad, man. This music gives you vibes of Miguel O'Hara's theme in Across the Spider-Verse. Is that the... Why are you not watching on Twitch? Because the quality on Twitch, I'll show you. This is 1080p 60 FPS, which is kind of what you want to be watching any game on. Also doing walkouts. If I go to Twitch, if I go to China, 720. On YouTube, it's 1080, so you can watch it there. But like the quality is noticeably worse on YouTube than it is on this. Bitrate is so much better. BLG quality can be crazy good. Yeah, but I find Twitch is delayed though. You can like 2x speed it. But like if we're delayed behind the mainstream, does it really matter that much? I never really understood people are like, oh my god, we're behind. It's like, yeah, you can still like... It's not live, I guess, right? It's about a minute between this happening and now. Yeah, this is Doyu. But sometimes Doyu doesn't like me. like now, for example. Usually just refreshing it tends to help, but who knows if we're going to get that kind of result. Should be okay. So yeah, this one for the veto. I don't know how they do A team, B team. That's the thing. So we got all game. Edward Gaming is team A, so they should get choice if it's like the other leagues, but they might flip a coin to decide who's team A, team B. Let's assume that EDG are gonna be team B. So all gamers, what are you banning out? I think they've mostly been banning out Ascent at the moment, both. So that's kind of good against EDG. EDG have been banning out Lotus, which is fine for both sides. All gamers have been picking Icebox a lot, but then losing it. So that's not been good for them. Split's been a good map for them. I think EDG picking Breeze would be potentially up there, or would they go Bind? I don't know if you'd go Bind against all gamers, considering they've been like... Actually, they did lose to Nova. You're looking at like Split, Icebox, Sunset maybe. Sunset might be a good choice for EDG. It's just when last round and stuff. True, you don't want to be behind it there, but at the same time, are you watching for the result or are you watching for the experience, you know? Hey Leviathan, good afternoon. Yeah, this caught me by surprise. It's a little bit earlier of a stream than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, it should be... I don't think there's anything that wouldn't be on stream. It should be. We're set up to record for Sliggy. That's fine, because I can't imagine he'd be watching this. Series prediction. I think the all gamers could surprise us all here. I think a series win would be crazy, frankly. I don't know if I'd expect that. But I think all gamers would give it a good fucking go here. Free mapper with any luck. Depends what map though. What do they pick here? They've been picking Icebox a lot, but they've been consistently losing it. They're gonna go Sunset. Okay. What comp have they been playing on Sunset? They've just been playing Sober Breach. And EDG going Icebox. I don't know, EDG. I think that's a very risky pick. I know all gamers have been losing, but they haven't been playing that badly. You only go here if you've got an idea on what you want to do. EDG second ban in Bind, so we would have Breeze as the last... No. Yeah, Breeze is the last map. Crazy that EDG into ban in Bind, considering they were picking it. It's just that all gamers look that good on it. This is a really good veto for all gamers. You're gonna stream the APAC playoffs like tomorrow and stuff? Maybe. I don't want to overdo it. That's the thing. I'll see how I feel in the morning, because I might have some like bits and pieces that need doing. Yeah, I don't think Sliggy's aware of like games happening today, never mind that they happened an hour earlier than expected. So, alright. Again, you're only missing a series. EDG have been smashing teams on Sunset. Almost makes me think that the veto could be the other way around, to be honest. But you're right, they have. Like, both picks are pretty good for the opponent here. Like, map history, let's have a look. I just want to see comps for either. All gamers, sorry, all gamers. On Lotus, that's not Lotus. We want to go Sunset. Trying to see if they've played it recently. They might play Billy Billy on it. They beat DRG 13-11, but they lost to JDG, which was during kickoff. So they've only played it once. And it was against DRG, which is a series that they ended up winning. So they haven't played it in a while, and they played Silver Breach. So I wonder if all gamers have cooked up something here. I mean, this is a perfectly fine time to do it. Like, you could say maybe you want to be saving like comps and strats for playoffs, but honestly, I think maybe a series win against EDG, giving you like champions points, is more valuable than trying to get further into playoffs.
说有更多针对 EDG 的东西，他们更想要把自己的东西去打好。我觉得这个对于 AG 来说也是相当之重要的。
就我觉得这对于 AG 来说反而是一个非常有用的话，因为大家想一下 AG 的胜率，首枪局胜率在整个11支队伍的联盟里面，冠军联盟他们排在第1位。但是为什么我们举他跟 Nova 的比赛里面，他们打满了3盘，6个首枪。
Not worried about EDG at all? Oh no, I'm worried.
3打得非常的挣扎，非常的困难，对，甚至有可能会被对面翻盘。
I think that with EDG having 2 games this week, one against All Gamers, one against Trace.
第二，你在持续的滚雪球的过程当中，会反手给到对面一些机会，比如说你会让对面翻盘。
Like at this point for playoffs, All Gamers are in a like perfectly comfortable spot anyway. Unless they get absolutely demolished and then Tech win their series later in the week, which I think is against, it's not DRG, I think it's FP, no, FX playing Billy Billy. Who are Tech playing? Hey Saido. More Tech pause? I mean, they're just getting into it. They're playing Nova, okay, got it. Oh yeah, it is, because both these, for both of them, it's pretty much like a playoffs last-ditch attempt. Do you think EDG has lost some of their old magic, like the chaotic aggression they used to have? Yeah, but I don't think that that's not them losing it, I don't think. I think that's more other teams being aware of what they like to do. The other reason why EDG did so well in the past is because they got crazy, like, underrated. People didn't appreciate what they can do. Now they definitely are. And with the meta now being so like execute utility heavy, especially with like Viper and Cypher nerfs for something like, I guess maybe playoffs for China, I don't know, but most certainly Shanghai, I think that kind of high aggression utility play lends itself really nicely to China as a region.
是，而对于我觉得对索罗纳来说，因为赛前采访维亚也问到了，对吧？老对手，索罗纳在1月份，24年的1月份是冠军。
Shanghai should have the Viper nerfs. The question really is, does playoffs at all? Why does VLR say that the game starts in an hour? Because it's wrong. I mean, VLR's definitely like it's been wrong this year. Like one of the first days of groups, I think it had saying that there was 4 games in one day. What is AG? All Gamers. Anyone's legend in LPL. I mean, if there's going to be a tech pause right at the start, it's fine with me. Like, I wasn't ready for this, so... Like, we're good.
在他那个前东家的这个末期去跟 EDG 交了一个手，然后在那儿之后，其实索罗纳也是辗转了非常多的队伍，然后最后去转向了助教。但我觉得就是心有不甘吧，他觉得自己还是有想要去当选手那团火。
是这样的一个履历，对于剑九来说，一定。
I guess more negative focus goes onto EDG for losing to FPX last week, but in all honesty, I think it was just FPX playing out of their minds.
很多的残局对于 AG 来说，他们有很多的残局是真的会。
We have it in other regions, right? Where we have like Team A, Team B, so we have Team A, Team B, and Team C. Team A plays like the meta stuff, or even creates the meta stuff on a map, you know? So let's say this is like Fnatic. Like Fnatic's Lotus comp, where they have like the Fade, the Viper, the Raze, the Omen, and then Killjoy. This is Team A, so they sort of invent their own meta, people tend to follow it. Team B effectively copy this comp. So let's say this is KC. Like, Kamen Corp, they take Fnatic's comp, but they innovate on it and they learn how to play this comp in order to beat other people playing this comp. That's why you see like KC beating Fnatic at like kickoff and stuff like that. And then you've got Team C, which is somebody like fucking Foot. to pull out all of the crazy stuff. Same comp here. Same comp here. And so you end up in this position where you got a team that's trying to play the meta and trying to play up against other meta stuff, but then a crazy comp comes in, like Fut's Lotus, and you don't really know how to deal with that. To be fair, Fnatic didn't really know how to deal with that either. But the general premise is that Fnatic can play this comp and they know exactly why they're playing agents, why they play certain agents in certain places. They know the why. They can answer why and a lot of stuff. Not to say that KC couldn't, but KC are looking at this comp going, this is what like is meta, this is the most well-rounded. They might have their perception of what makes this like theory strong. But their focus is more on how to beat other teams that are playing super meta. And then Fut is just playing disruptive. Because teams like KC are working out how to play this comp for themselves. They don't have time to work out how to use this comp against some that like Fut are playing. Playoff match wins don't give points, no. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that... I mean, EDG might fall to second place in the region for the first time. But in all honesty, I think if we see FPX and EDG in a grand final of stage 1, both are going to Shanghai, I still fancy EDG to win a full best of 5 series, you know? You get a point for winning a playoff game? What, VCT points? I don't think you do. I really don't think you do. That's why so many teams are like, there's no point playing for playoffs if you can help it. Alright. All games versus EDG. EDG attacking, all games picking this into them. Brave. EDG have got Icebox as well. It's region when they're going to skip Shanghai group stage. Oh, is it? I didn't know that, but that makes sense considering it's a 12-team tournament. Right, EDG fighting in mid early, breaking market. You've got a trip here. You've got a camera in alley to play off. Lots of focus going over towards here. And the camera's been broken. So actually everybody grouping up here to get some good information. Maybe clear out some lurking player, but Haodong thought they had perfect timing to try and get him from market, but it was being watched. Everybody's adjusted well. Monk's position's a little bit risky, but he gets the support that he needs just at the right time. Also, this is not played on the new patch, in case that wasn't clear. Whether that's in for playoffs or for Shanghai for China remains to be seen. Could barely get the time right for when games start, never mind what patches that we're playing on. Oh no, this is just Chi-Chu winning a 1v3, isn't it? Not quite, okay. Thankfully, Delby saves the day. 球球1v3已经拆成了最后的1v1，一度是有机会把这个残局强行给兜回来，但是最后Delby还是稳住了枪。第一个是他杀的，最后一个。Wait, what are we saying about the playoff? Sorry. 直接把浩东摘掉也是相当关键的一个情况了，包括上第二时间回防到了出生点的位置，我们可以看到让康康在这个。The first seed from the groups gets an extra point because they're going to skip a game. I mean, literally said in the like that must have been changed recently. 最初的印象差又不一样了。这张地图在国内打了8次，有60%的一个进攻方胜率。我相信。Because I've seen like rule books that have said that it's just for group stage games, other than winning the playoffs. Yeah, I could be wrong. If there's a source for it, let me know, because I'd like to sort of read it. AG 来说，这个开局是完全能接受的一个情况了。第二分是起了5把害灵，非常求稳的一个起枪方式。对，想跟你缩短距离去打。索奈脸上踩雷飞剑过来以后，DRX is an extra point in the leaderboard. According to what though? Wikipedia, VLR, both. 小强的情况下，在 AG 的视角里面也觉得不会。If it's on like a Riot website, then sure, but. 距离1600的害灵是非常有优势的，但是你别说，球球把2个人都点到了头部，两个人其实都有点残。坡顶交了一波1换1。Still some good damage done on the eco. Managed to lurk up, and at least this is like good information for Haodong to see how they're putting trips and cameras and stuff.
队友
要等康康去绕，要等康康去绕复活点。
哦，我们看一下剩下这7个人啊，在地图上面
So much space. Look at this though. The Raze is here. The Cypher's inserted here. Not really going to be seen from even a push in B main, so they really have no idea that he's here up until now. It's 20 HP, so a quick flick around could have done a crazy amount here. I imagine all gamers is like comms here are going to be a little bit chaotic whilst they try and work out what on earth is going on.
安置爆能器，我们从小地图上来看，至少是没有特别大的一个问题，但是这个残局怎么样去操作，压力还是蛮大的。我们看康康只有22滴血。
There's no official leaderboard as far as I know. No, I don't think so either.
回防，而且技能不少，有暗眼，有闪啊，铁臂几乎是全套技能，只少了一个技能。
贴脸上，
这波给 Smoke 一个1v1的机会，
而且 Monk 的血量也很低，Monk 不敢交技能，
要交技能，闪
废了。
I'll see if I can find the rulebook for later.
非常的就通俗大家所讲的所谓的纪律性。
对的。
I know I've been talking to Gorilla a lot about it, so I'll ask him.
康康没有踩雷飞剑，他必须得架。OK， 那混了一个头
，Monk 这有点
刷新了踩雷飞剑，这就感觉有点说法了吗
Good nades.
这个踩雷飞剑好像能
Not really right in the position. The defuse comes in. I mean, that's good eco, isn't it? 3 kills in a plant.
轻松的拆除这个爆能器。那这个回合对于 AG 来说，损失的是3把害灵，其实也不小的一个损失啊。
What is with esports hub in the game? I mean, it's a cool place to like show off stuff. But yeah, that's also a really good point. Like you could just put it in there, I guess.
枪可以只起3把，然后留2把的容错率。
要么就很赚，要么就很亏。
对，但是。确实如同 AG 的一个想法，他们就算掉了枪，在这一回合掉。
Very good damage, very good damage.
这把枪你跟我对打，你也没有太多的瞬杀我多人的能力。
Remind me when we have a timeout for me to message Gorilla. Wait, a Vitality playing today? Because he might be busy.
至于掉多少，那是后面的事情。
Yeah, this is going to be a great bonus for all gamers. 2 Stingers, no armor, Sheriff, 2 Spectres. Pretty sure it was like a full buy up on the anti-eco too. They were trying to do like an FPX buy. But full armor here too, because extra money for the plant means that this should be a fairly beefed up round. Good flash, good adjustment from Kung Kung. Showstopper, he manages to just dodge it. He changed his sends, I think it's working. I mean, I say he changed his sends, he changed it from 1600 DPI to 0.2 to 800 DPI 0.4, so the sense is the same.
个人能力的大爆发，同样的，他的队友给到的技能也相当的关键。
就这一分，你能看得到 AG 还是想去给。
That flash dodge was crazy. I guess that's one of the aspects. Like when you're playing up against a breach on A, they're mostly always going to be on A on the defense. You're sort of always expecting that a flash is going to come in from somewhere.
这分搬回来的压力是非常非常大，但是
不想送点，因为。就算康康的中技能已经好了，但是你像看球
Breach is useless versus Chinese pros. I'd say for Sunset, Breach is pretty useless, full stop.
2个点是如果喂到不该喂的嘴里面就出问题。
而且对于 AG 来说，我觉得还有一个很。
I think it's a really good map for him, just like with what his utility can do. But I think it's just too telegraphed and it's a bit too. It's a bit too obvious for what you want to be doing. EDG could cook. You could put him on 5 duelists and then cook something up.
非常漂亮的背闪，然后利用幻影和惊喜翻腾，连续的去拉开，没问题。
Breach Fader, some good combos. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that we're not seeing more Fade at the moment anyway.
先手晚安焰火，其实在晚安焰火。 就或者说雷兹这种对位的时候，晚焰。
Who was it that played Gecko Fade? Was that 100 Thieves?
那对面就有可能用惊喜翻腾去躲。
那 AG 这里的话
，That's something that I think like it's one of my favorite comps I've seen so far. But I like playing Silver on this map, so I'm an idiot. You know, like.
这分相当关键，对 AG 来说，如果想把整个上半场能够维持住，这分就必须要。
This is the right idea. You're not just playing the because so many teams will play like the Breach and the Omen over here because you need to, as a defender, you need to be contesting this as much as you can. So the Viper wall kind of makes it difficult, makes it so like as a defensive side you have to sit back a little bit more. So the Silver here is good because you can sit back and you can still get reach of information from a distance. But like against this comp, I think, with just anything with like Viper Cypher, I think if you swap this for a KO, turned into Porky Pig then. Gale.
先丢失了。
通道有人架，你要交完焰火没有，直接能趟过去，直接硬找。
Good kill.
然后完焰火再根本没有。
He is getting so much without being traded.
这波是回到安全的位置。
是一来一回。
Crazy place for Spitfires to play, but the one way came in pretty much around the same time.
康康手里还是有完焰火，依然会非常的有近距离的杀伤能力。
那现在对于 AG 来说，这个回防就很难开展了。
I think Gecko Sober just lacks a bit of punch. Speaking of punch, Paranoia kind of missed. Might not matter. Kung Kung's just got this like protagonist syndrome going on, and he sprayed the full round. Nobody's there, just playing off of him too. And there's 4 players ready and waiting for Delby to fight. Look at all of these light sight lines. Yeah, I can't do too much. Not when Kung Kung's in this kind of form. All 4 leagues of matches this week. Well, doesn't EMEA finish tomorrow? And then they have their playoffs. Next week is going to be crazy busy. Like next weekend, you've got all 4 regions playing for... Well, at least at that point when all 4 regions played Saturday, Sunday. How many teams will be set for...
他们刚刚上一个回合前点的静摸，让他们省下了非常多的道具，进到点内找到了非常好的位置去安插爆。
Second map is Icebox.
AG 这分存钱分打完，估计要交暂停了。
是。
现在面对对面 A 点的一波流，其实感觉有点接不住。
Ooh, nice shot. Full on dinged him, 5 HP.
有点远啊。争议也是没有办法比较。
Camera just in this corner that needs to be cleared. Trip here.
这个位置就不太好说了，这是进入了正义一发致死的射
And then stacking on A, but it's found nothing.
战术监控打掉了。Delby 这个位置是要吃，
他得换。哎，但好像。
Oh right, I see. Light time zone. That makes sense.
你看吗？这是。等一下，是看到了还是没看到？
故意。
Oh man.
假装没看到，回头一个玩意，我最稳的把人给收下来了。
Just everything's been well predicted, well like viewed. This is a little bit brave against an eco, but it's not going to matter anyway. If this guy's just getting free Ks every single fucking round. Good damage from Bunt, but I don't know. You got a full buy. Doing a timeout now would be risky because see what ultimates they have. Showstopper was used. Crash was just used. So it's not like EDG have like a big amount of ultimates to go with in this round. Well, none to like get them in, I guess, because you don't have a breach or a KO or a fade. Literally, the 2 ultimates that they just used are the ones that you want to be using to go for an execute.
这波确实很聪明，假装我没有看到你啊，鱼眼的余光，
你猜我有没有看到，对吧？是。
So maybe there's a chance for a timeout here for all gamers and ego.
对，这个点后就那么大点地方。
是的。
AG 这个暂停确实得叫，就现在是问题是。
Because usually I'm a little bit say if EDG had the showstopper here and the Gecko ult, doing a timeout here, you're just kind of letting After and Muggle go, alright, we have these ultimates, what ultimates do they have? We're doing really well on this, maybe we can do this a bit better. But I think if you're EDG, you're talking about, okay, what are we going to do this round? What are we expecting them to change to?
回合场均3杀，对吧？非常夸张。
这个就对于防守方来说是不能接。
I saw the duo Jules video, but I haven't watched it.
飞进来个超人，这怎么搞
I saw like clips of it.
我觉得可以考虑的角度，其实跟我们任何时候在面对，就防守方处理的比较好的时候，角度是把对面后背的人断掉。我可以允许你一个雷兹跳进来，因为这你是有惊喜翻的，我拦不住。
对，
哪怕我有半线，我都未必拦得住。但是我要确保。
No, we didn't do Preds either.
导致你的雷兹是一个脱节的状况。其实这对于防守方 AG 来说是他们最应该做到的事情。
是的，可能现在我们看到的，本身 AG 有双先锋。
Alright, you got full buy, well, half armor in a lot of cases. Like I said, ultimates just used here. Viper's Pit, not quite yet.
补枪补得非常到位啊，EDG目前为止还没有被对面打脱节过。
So EDG are they changing much up?
能量球，铁臂也是随时在后方等着给到自己的支援技能。
Just really swapping the breach over towards A.
从选位上来看，其实变化不。
Omen playing in market. Maybe all gamers are like they're not really doing anything towards here, so just keep closing the door, put this trip elsewhere. And then they got the trip that's going across there, the camera on top. This feels like it's a good read though. Having a trip here is the big difference. So these guys can get pushed back. You still have good control here. You're past the wall so you can see that nobody's managed to scale through. So they're checking it, they're seeing it, and after like a minute, EDG push top mid, but because of this trip, they're fairly comfortable. What it has done though is it has conditioned these guys to be playing in close. Rolling Thunder is the response too. And just getting one. I don't think Spitfires needs to be too aggressive here. You're in a 5 versus 4. You've got good information. You still have this trip. Your door's been broken. You got 2 people playing off of it. Stun to go across and help and allow a second peek for Del B. Really nice round from all gamers. Chichu in a 1 versus 5. He's got 1. Just needs 4 more with 10 seconds and the spikes left in mid. Yeah, really good round. And the best part, this trip, I don't think it was seen. Like, EDG don't know that it's got so much. Because usually when you're pushing top mid, you want to put question marks here and here. So EDG don't know that this side is like comfortable. Why are people going for heavy armor nowadays? Outlaw. People would say outlaw, but here I'm not really too sure because you don't really see that much opping on this map at the moment anyway. Never mind outlaw. Maybe it's like the fear of the outlaw, I guess. But I think it's also just because there's so many like aim duel battles happening with like utility. Yeah, Delby's from Indonesia, but they speak pretty much fluent Mandarin.
但这一分，其实 Swanna 一开始选位是在中路坡顶的位置，然后他逐渐又在往 A 靠，其实跟上一分差不多，还是重点要在 A 大 E 开。
Yeah, I don't know really. Yeah, Sim trip is up here. Sim defensive setup. Putting a trip for market because they're expecting that like after this EDG are going to be more keen on breaking the door, which they have done. They're going to try and break the trip. They weren't able to.
没有办法去执行出自己心里想要的那个样子。
你出局就你脱节，想清楚。
是。
你敢越过这个。
Probably fair, just like a sense of maybe there's more worth for only slightly better results.
进攻方、防守方换一下蛮赚的。
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
如果是现在这个局面，不好说谁赚。
是的。标 B 的监控是放在了 B 大的门口上面啊，这个位置其实进攻方是必须要进去才能拆得掉的。
这个是可能是我们所谓的这种叫。
I think it's just more. Eco rounds seem to be less impactful nowadays too, because eco rounds tend to buy less. So they found Spitfires just holding this alone. Like, you've got loads of like control towards B, but you can't let up on A at all, I don't think, especially with this wall. Monk gets one, and Kung gets traded. Oh, the plant is really risky considering you're going for on the other side of the wall where you have no info and no control. But luckily it works out. It did kind of force, I think, Smoggy and Chichu to kind of push with the wingman. And Delby probably just saving.
是开宝这一分想要拿下，对于 Delby 来说还是一个特别困难的任务了，所以这回还是直接选择宝枪。
Even though all gamers have been like won the last round, their money's still tight, so saving this gun is super important. And money for nobody is great. Like 5.4k, 5.2 on Chichu, 2.4 on Smoggy.
今天真的也是瞄准机器啊，依然保持了自己。
Definitely worthwhile to go hunting.
但 EDG 反正我钱多。
Yeah, I don't know on that one. What do you guys think? Why do you think that there's like more full armor than half armor? You think it's because of the outlaw? Do you think it's fear of the outlaw, or just wanting to get more out of your full buys?
已经来不及了，小火龙站在了一个通道必死的位置，他最多只能尝试跟对面去爆了，对，跟对面去换，然后最终也没有能够做到有效的交换，而即便他做了有效交换，他也拦不住对面近点的脚步。 所以 Monk 一定还是在一个
Spam's a good shout as well, actually. Yeah.
我觉得是 AG 在输掉的这几个比分里面，面临的最多的一个输法，其实就是他们没有办法。
Yeah, but I think the thing that Sliggy's saying about snowballing is because of because you don't have many people going for like sort of lowish buys and then having half armor for the next round. Like eco rounds just seem to be less. So I think the snowball is more a product of that. I guess also outside of Icebox and when it's a race map, it doesn't lend itself to be an op favored map either. So there's like less op. You know, playing half armor against an op is fine because even if you're on full armor, you still die to it. So the fact that there's less opping, more rifling, that extra 25 armor can make a big difference. Oh, this is so much like control too. At least the camera's got some good information that nobody's sort of lurking up, but it means that the Cypher has to keep checking it, which is really annoying. Not quite great from Spitfires. Good recon. All Smogy needs to do is keep buying time here. It's good. Snipper to just buy a bit of time. Waiting for the Snipper to go, and then they're going to stun, send it in. Choo-choo's not afraid to fight here. You got the wingman as well to just go in and slap somebody when they get close. And Choo-choo's not afraid to just send itself in because Kung Kung's coming out the top and can trade.
对，就我能感觉到，其实 AG 对于这一分 all in 的就是欲望不是特别强，
就有点啾啾又结结。
对，就如果你想 all in，你一开始肯定就直接装载了。
Yeah, I agree with Kandinsky. But I don't. We haven't seen it happen yet. That's the thing. I feel like it's a lot of like, oh, they think that we think that they think that we're gonna go half armor so they can go outlaw. But I've never really seen that happen yet. Feels like nobody wants to be the team that tries half armoring to see what they can do.
3比5 ，AG 暂停完之后只拿了1分，这远远不够。你的暂停肯定不是像只拿1分就够了的。AG 这边还是想在 A 大前压，但这个障云一直让他们很难受。这次就算给了一个防守的单向烟，我们看到球球还是把自己的障。
EDG just again fighting for mid an awful lot. And this Fury right through market or tile, sorry. They managed to get the showstopper. Haodong doesn't really get flashed despite being right in his face. Oh, that's such good like space taking. Again, all he needs to do is just buy time and attention. If he can keep the Omen focused this way, it means that the Rays can't rotate normally. Thrash is going to go backside. I mean, I think he was more expecting somebody to be in this corner, I guess. Spitfire's flanked all the way around. 2 versus 3. Yeah, I can't really find too much. Really nice playing around the map, though, from EDG. Just finding little pockets and then Haodong scaling up. Yeah, not too much. Chichu just needs to spray.
也倒了 ，EDG 成功拿到自己的第6分。
我在想小火龙要不要尝试在防守方换一个位置，因为他在这个 A 大能做的事情太少，他就干看着对面障云，等着对面有人摸出来。是 ，EDG 不会这么做。
Shame you get the first kill.
所有在这最近的几分的第一时间的交火都不是在他这边。对，所以他们
I feel like when you're flashed there against a breach, it should be flashing you a lot more than it probably did.
每2个回合吧，都是他没有能够成功的来到自己施展自己技
You know why they changed the schedule for this week? You mean like why it's 1 best of 3 Thursday, 1 best of 3 Friday? No idea. I feel like it's probably just preferential treatment for EDG to an extent.
这个卡手了，
难受了。
Because EDG haven't had to play on a Friday. They always play at the weekend. But because they've got 2 games this week, because they're in the alpha group, so they have to play twice. MSI, I guess that's also a great point, actually. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that'd be my guess. MSI's just started.
在这几个进攻回合里面，经典去打的 A 前点第一波给完技能以后，空中给市场压力。
Labor Day holiday? Is it a Labor Day holiday? I mean, it is in a lot of different places, but I didn't expect. Because it's like May Day and stuff. Yeah, maybe it's that too. Genuinely don't know. The public holiday all week in China? Ah.
先下一个，球球也能再摘一个，藏在后面铁壁这个位置，感觉也有点难去生存了，没办法。
混烟头啊
，Yeah, strange.
往这地方正义啊，混也混不过对手，马上拉出来了，也看到了，刚刚非常精准的头部命中，只剩下了剑9了，剑9手里
Yeah, good anti-eco, fairly straightforward, pretty much flawless. Barely any damage done because of the weaponry.
自己的这个枪啊，
大家都是头，对吧？是我的枪，
我更贵啊。
Yeah, MSI's a League of Legends tournament. It's happening in Shanghai. They started yesterday and goes on to like May the 19th. And then Master Shanghai starts like a day after it, if not like a couple of days. Because the team that do the international events, like the people that produce, direct and stuff, the people that do those events for Valorant also do the international events for League. and like TFT when there's events for that and stuff.
那你要么就换一边压出去，比如说做 B 大的前压和中路的前压，你要么就在 A 点去打得更加激进。就
Emphasizing Chengdu, not Shanghai. I mean, they have to move everything across it. I know that they're playing the first part of Master Shanghai here.
决定恶的一个状态。这总不能让 AG 这边。
Did I say that Emphasize was in Shanghai?
就不能这样玩了。
Sorry, I meant
这
China.
样的一个蝰蛇确实是看一场少一场了。我们知道，也知道后续可能丈云这个位置没有办法再这么灵活的去改变位置了。
对，但是其实从 EDG 进攻来看，他甚至很多时候不会第二次把这个丈云捡走。就他。
How far away is Chengdu from Shanghai?
还会给你更大的压力。
对，而且对于他来说，他禁闭不需要这个丈云，你会发现，你会发现他在 A 点做了。
Other side of the country, a couple of hours away.
能够在 B 点去打得非常舒服了。
对的，
我觉得对于 AG 来说，就算你在 A 点一直被这个丈云卡脖子，你可以。
Yeah, all games are using both their timelets here.
对
4 hours by high-speed rail.
也未尝不可。其实这张图你要说放点，我觉得放 A 比放 B 更合理。
而且这张地图其实我们看了比较多。
I still disagree with teams using both timelets in one half.
前几个回合的进攻里面，对于中路，
I mean, this is your map choice. To be fair, all gamers, like you can't be
中路的战术，
like 9-3 as a half would be a bit of a disaster. You're also assuming that your attack side is going to be like fine. And ultimately, if your attack side is a bit better, EDG are going to be timing out, so you can use your stuff then. But yeah, I'd agree as well. I think there's a...
单项其实也是队友给的，没有办法再
就你只能架到这里为止了。
再往前就是对手的单项。
It never feels that it works.
小火龙能够给队友回报。
But it's better than holding on to both your timeouts way too late.
对，
但问题是，他不是很确定对面到底是中来了还是打集市。
对了，这个就是我们刚刚有说到的 ，AG 会不会控完 A 以后，第二时间来到中路去硬拼一波，推了一个暗眼效果。
Yeah, good like mid aggression here. Spitfire still dies to Kung Kung, but he gets traded. I mean, this is just aim duels now. This is where the extra 25 armor can I do a lot more at the moment. Flash.
他是先用丢丢给自己争取了对枪的优势，把这个1打2成功拆成了1打1，但是人数依然是个多一人的优势。现在 Smoky
Thinking that Monk is about 10 feet tall. It's a 1 versus 2. He does have Rolling Thunder. But any chance to do it quickly is gone. Smoggy pushing this. Super duper risky. But he's on a nice off angle now. But he has given Monk an opportunity back into this one. Chi-Chu's really good in these situations, and he still has a snake bite. And Monk is 45 HP. You're not going to expect him to peak like straight away. Yeah, really good shot. Nice and clean from Jiju.
没道理的，突然给你拉出来吓一跳。但是我至少觉得 AG 这个回合是做出应对了，他们在中路其实在想办法了，而且市场这一侧的包围做得不错。但是 Nobody 用自己的个人能力不讲道理的去化解掉了这一分。
I feel like Potter is an exception to the rule though, with any timeouts and stuff.
比较成功的一个改变了，只可惜我们要知道这是上半场的倒数第2个回合了。
这是第11分。
对你。
I mean, in China, I don't think I'd be keen on doing it.
这一分其实你能看得到他在 丢丢这个技能上面的一个熟练度帮助到他很多。虽然丢丢确实没有把2个人都闪到，但是他可以利用身位去。
But it must be that, you know, all gamers must be comfortable with their attacking side. EDG have chosen to attack as well on all gamers' map pick, right? So
就是不管怎么样，其实
both these comps are a little bit more
1打1去打嘛。
attacking sided. The first and only real time we've seen EDG just kind of go B main that wasn't anti-eco.
卡手已久了，
这好像是上半场唯一一个，用过一个炸汤汤，一还没炸到吗
That's a little bit much when you've snake bit and mollied that spot. But I guess it's been working so well for Kung Kung, so do something that's going to surprise them. And it doesn't matter anyway. His team's just too good right now.
就是很朴素的这样的一个补枪。 小火龙的血量已经很低了，完颜虎随手的一轰
，very very clean. Jesus.
在自己预料之内，想要去放出完颜虎的一个动作。
是的，他上半场2个完。
I feel like they destroyed Viper too early. Really hate these small changes like Sky Nerf, Breeze Hole, and now I like to see big patches instead. Big patches though just make it so much harder for esports scene for one.
但是接下来就不一样了，防守方的2个人被浩东所吸引，然后掉到了 Nobody 和浩东形成了这个双架里面。是这个。
I don't know. I like small changes to see how they go.
对，而且
Like we are getting like pretty big changes, like 8.11, I think. So when they sort of announced the new act, I think a new map at the start of episode 9. So new map pool, and then duelist changes, I think is what Al Tombe was saying.
，AG 是暂停完拿了1分，但是他也就只拿了那1分，在暂停完之后。
Snakebite nerf is crazy? No, I don't think so. First of all, because I haven't like streamed since the changes came out. Firstly, I don't think that the Viper nerfs are going to impact it that much, to be honest. I think, like, on maps, I think, like Sunset, where you can play Viper, but you can also play, like, Double Initiator, you might want to play Viper less there. So, stuff like Split as well. But, like, on Bind, I think you'd end up sticking with Viper anyway. On Breeze and Icebox, I think you stick with a Viper anyway. Lotus, I don't know. That's generally the one I'm like unsure on.
走到中路的时候，我转到中路的时候，队友已经倒差不多了。这种局面确实对于 Delby 来说也是难以去更多的有发挥的。
But I think the problem more is like with Snakebite. I realized this yesterday. So we have a bit more time. So not only is it a molly that does like decent damage over a period, it also vulnerables. But then there's the other stuff as well that isn't really like mathematically accounted for. Like, the radius is pretty big. The speed of which you throw the molly is one of the fastest moving bits of utility in the game. The fact that you can fire it up in the air, and unlike a medal, or unlike a Phoenix molly, where after a couple of seconds either the medal just explodes in the air for Clove, or the Phoenix molly drops down, you can throw a Phoenix... you can throw a Viper molly from one side of the map to the other, and it will go all the way. It won't run out of duration. It'll bounce off walls. Like, that's the problem with Viper. Not only does our utility do something that nothing else really does, but it's like, it's a wall that you can put down. You don't need to, like, there's no positional thing that you need to be aware of. There's no range for it. You could be on one side of the map, put the Viper wall on another, and you'll be perfectly fine. You can also put it up and down multiple times. It can go up to different like levels of, like, it can go up a ramp and over the bottom. Something like Icebox, right? It goes over the top of 410. All of Viper's utility can just be like, and then it does this, and then it does that, and it also does this, and it also does that. That's the problem.
AG 来说完全能接受。暗眼推了，虽然没到尾，但是步枪来的比较快，还好雷击剑也给到一些。
A good utility and another good pistol. All gamers' pistols are crazy. Like, honestly, their win rate is something like 70-75%.
压出去显得比较突然，
有点突然，
很干燥，而且没有太多技能的一个帮。
Like here, they've won both pistols, and they still might lose. Isn't the game supposed to start at 8? VLR is wrong. To be fair, I didn't know until Saint messaged. But I don't know how Saint saw. I don't know if he just saw the stream. Oh shit, it's actually like starting 20 minutes instead of an hour and 20. Thank you for all of the partner anniversary stuff. I didn't actually know when my partner anniversary was, so I learned something every day. There's the Eldron. Get some good information. Full eco for EDG. They're fine. Yeah, literally the all gamers one few rounds that they've won is like the pistol, a follow-up, and one full buy on their defense. Which was the one where they put the trip up here. So, yeah, that's crazy. Out of the 5 runs that they won, 2 pistols, 2 pistol follow-ups, and then 1 full buy.
我们可以看到，在起枪情况上面 ，AG 就是有所调整了。他们知道自己的比分已经有比较大的差距了，所以还是起到了一些长枪在。
You saw the tweet saying it was done in an hour. Yeah, thank you for that. I probably would have missed it myself.
这一分对于 EDG 来说很大。如果 EDG 输掉下半场被对面4比0开局的话，那这个局面又变得没有那么可控。
I also don't hate the Cypher trip nerf. I'm like, yes, that's great because I like the change that they made to it that it stays up until it's broken. But it definitely just felt too much, where it's like pinging every 1 second.
是 AG 这里的话是有3把步枪在的啊，狂徒燎犬还有
一把进来。
And then the camera one feels iffy, but yeah, there's a lot of like cheesy cameras, I suppose. That
都是可以去接受的，只是比分上压力会比较大。
半先打了，但刚刚不敢贸然出去，他刚才应该已经被混残了，
对，
不敢动，不能主动混烟。
it's a full buy now, but I have a whole opinion on people talk about skill expression in this game. Not really. Oh my god, nice shot from Spitfires. I don't think he should have won that realistically. Kungung's going to be hurt here. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He feels that he's just going to go for those peaks, so Spitfires getting 2 is incredibly nice, considering he's 20 HP.
市场的位置稍微看一眼就已经知道了。
一个9，那这样的话知道了中路对面 nobody 的位置。对方的2个人基本上是明白。
And then these guys just saving the guns. But yeah, like the Cypher nerfs where the camera now gives you an indication of when you're being watched. People would sort of say like the game's getting easier for people, like with smoke showing when they're about to drop. Stuff like cameras giving off a bit of information. My argument for that is just like, so what? Like, just because something's more simple and straightforward doesn't mean that it can't be like complicated, even though that sounds like it's so juxtaposed. If you look at something like CS's utility is incredibly straightforward, but the thing that makes CS such a good esport is how that basic utility in the general setups. Like CS is a lot less complicated than Valorant when it comes to utility and agents and stuff like that, because it's everybody has access to a flash, a molly, a smoke, whatever you want to be getting. But I personally like watching esports where it's pretty straightforward for anybody to pick up and play, so you see the best players and see what they do. I don't want Valorant to be complicated for the sake of being complicated. I actually want it to be more like a very simple and straightforward game. It doesn't need to be like Overwatch. Like I want the smokes, like if you pick Omen over Brim, that there's like pros and cons to like smoke duration, how fast they deploy and stuff like that. But overall, I don't want super complex lot of interactions with abilities. So I don't mind skill expression dropping a little bit. And also, sorry, when it comes to like they're getting rid of skill expression, one of the first things that Riot realized, they didn't realize that people are going to use satchels in the way that like duelists execute, right? Like flight sort of movement. The devs like admitted right at the start of Valorant coming out that they were like, we didn't expect this, like this level of it. And they were asked like, are you going to nerf it? Are you going to get rid of it? And they're like, no. Like, we want Raze to be able to do this. We might make it so like there's an audio sound when you go through the air. We might make satchels more expensive, better or worse against utility, etc. Like, sorry, having a camera look in the corner, I don't mind getting rid of that skill expression and then keeping stuff like Raze satchel movement. Yeah, they have so much information here.
一点一点往前推，对于 AG 来说，他们也慌啊，每一个位置都要想办法去搜，摸到了 B 点，马上要进入到爆点点内的位置了。
这个时候只能盲进了，没办法，因为技能已经不足以去清完所有的点 ，B 大这个位置很有可能会漏，浩东应该会藏到最后对面安包的时候。但对面很聪明，我看到 AG 是选择安一个这个偏近于防守方复活点的一个爆能器，是这样的话，我 B 大不用清，我默认你有人就好了。
哦吼，这出来帮忙。 去巡逻的小火龙又是掉在这儿了。
对 ，Nobody 这分其实拿了2个非常关键的1v1。是
贴到脸上了，确实手里是只有一把燎犬的，浩东手里是正义。
Oh my god, they're gonna win this eco. They're actually gonna win it. Really good eco round. I'm gonna have to write that one down. Jesus.
是10比6 ，EDG 又重新把对面
I've lost my notepad though.
拿走的经济又要了回来啊。
对，这个回合是让大家没有想到的，也是用枪法在很多程度上去。
Team Secret just got an assistant coach right before playoffs. They haven't had one for a while, so. You know, it's kind of what Warbirds would want.
哎，拍个全家福没问题，大家都在，还有一棵树啊。
树下合影。
It was just the one rifle.
致敬我们现在正。
So it wasn't really like it was like a half buy, just from the 2 guns that were saved from losing the bonus. And they're right back in it. Still above the timeouts too. So I don't know if it counted as a thrifty technically because there was 2 rifles. That gets into the question of like what constitutes a thrifty. I don't know if it's if you have a buy that's worth 10k less than the opponent, or whether you have a buy that's less than 10k. I can't work it out. And there's no clarification on it. It's called the spy cam while looping audio. I don't know.
就是直接被穿到了一枪都接受不了的程度。
上4都跳了，这次又跳上去。
Also, game balance isn't entirely for the pro scene. I know that there's that trickle-down mechanic, but I mean, Riot seem very aware. Like, you read their dev comments and stuff, like, they seem like I trust them on it. 1500 per person. Difference between the two teams. So what is 1500 per person? 2500. So 12.5k difference. Okay, I actually didn't know that. I'm gonna write that down.
在这个位置给上自己的一个黑杖，自己手里已经是没有暗眼了。
这 A 好难打哦，这 A 真的好难打，因为你现在进这个出这个烟其实非常难过。
要打闪打阵来找，要来。
There's the Thrash. Not enough time to break it. Hits two of them at least. A Spitfires had just saved him. The nade though bounces horribly for Kung Kung, but he needs to get cleared on like safe. He's delaying. This is just such a Kung Kung round. Doesn't have time to really plant. Oh, and that trade from G2 is marvelous. Crazy round again.
是由 EDG 能够稳稳的去兜这个残局，又是康康选手个人能力一个爆发，吃了暗炎以后。
It's something to do with that. I don't think it is, because I tried checking and it seemed really muddy.
等到了队友的回防和返场，尽管晚烟或是被一发，但是时间已经成为了进攻方最大的敌人。
对，已经，哎呦。
Yeah, I mean, unlucky ego.
感受出来，他觉得这个回合确实是比较可惜，因为前期的部署已经是做得非常的好了。
I mean, hell, even at these points for all gamers, making sure that you don't lose hard, like 12-6, risky.
给出一个三波囚笼，自己先保一下命。
但这波如果提速没有抓到人，其实你的
losing 13-11, generally happy with. Like it could be a big deal. Oh, and he gets his knife out just as Kung Kung peeks out with a smoke with an operator. That's got to be one of the most tilting things to deal with. This is the more frustrating thing with EDG in this region. They can just do no wrong. Usually peeking out of a smoke with an operator would get you punished. If you did that in EMEA, the chances of it actually working out in your favor would be crazy. But not in China. Teams get away with so much. EDG especially get away with so much. Here though, might not. Oh, but they line up. See what I mean? EDG can do no wrong. Every single time a round gets close, magic happens. Or better yet, bullshit happens. Plot armor EDG, exactly. I mean, not clearing that position is a little bit rough, but yeah, like I think he was gonna get his nade out. He didn't even complete the animation on this side. Let me just make it easy for Smoggy to clean up on. It's kind of weird how people don't default to B main in this game. I mean, the B main post plant is strong, but like getting onto it isn't that straightforward. Depends on your comp and stuff really too. He's satcheling in to get more spike control. 13-6, alright. And what? 4 of those rounds were pistols and wins. 1 of them was a bonus win. Literally the only, like, all gamers only had 1, maybe 2. Well, 1 full buy, pistol, follow up, full buy, pistol, follow up, bonus. Literally only one full buy versus full buy. This whole map. And the one time that they did put EDG onto an eco, they lost. Yeah, back to EDG just stomping on teams again. Maybe Icebox can be better for all gamers, but Christ knows, we'll see.
教练也做过调整，但调整完只拿了1分，然后又立刻感觉又不知道怎么办了。
是的，
这种尬住的情况，其实导致整个场。
And also, Kungkung's got the right idea. Like, I think Kungkung's one of the only few players that actively opts on this map.
康康的状态依然非常的好，而且上一次在打这张地图的时候，康康一样也是有非常多的击杀。
Like, I can't think. Like, I think Luke tries. Optimal word being tries, but yeah, it's strange.
今天都发挥的淋漓尽致。
18般武器样样精通啊，就是你看他这一把雷兹的一个。
No, I don't want to do it on my account. I want to put it on Sliggy's. This might actually work out really nicely time-wise. If like Sliggy's live, I can host him. As he's getting ready for EMEA. Fung ops on Sunset 2. Yeah, true. It's hard to get the stats for stuff like that, honestly.
觉得说需要去重新考虑一下，是他们的战术意图到底是什么，然后以及说如何去做得更好。但是整体上来说，其实所谓大枪局。
Oh yeah, I said to check with Gorilla if they get points.
资源的时候，他们的资源那能够打出更好的效果。因为手枪局你的技能是不足的，但是在大枪局 EDG 会更好的利用到自己的资源。我们来听一下。
Monetization on. Give me 1 second, guys.
给道去了吗？给正了，给正了，给单向也给正，没给车。关门了，对面。
Oh, that actually does it straight away now. That's good.
上头在头顶，你们要提吗？现在给他保点后。
Have you just recently got back to Valorant? Are you still casting? Not at the moment. I've not been asked back for EMEA.
我准备给保点烟了，给烟了，给，保点黑了。
So I'm doing a little bit of stuff for like tier 2 for Polaris and mostly watching China. I watch part in China and Pacific, but yeah, not really like casting tier 1 at the moment. Me with all these drinks. Yeah, Smoggy's controller arc is one of my favorite in Valorant right now. Like, it's such a simple adjustment that's made so much work for EDG. How has today been in the world of Valorant? Hello, Juan Shan Kasumi. I guess that's right. At least that's what Twitch is translating it as. It's been good. I think this game caught people by surprise a little bit with how early it was.
讲道理的，在康康没有，其实甚至没有特别多技能补助的情况下，一个人跳进。
G's for flavor coffee, for energy water, for palate cleanse. Yeah.
但我是觉得对 AG 来说，他们可能
feels like it's the streaming go-to of just multiple drinks. Because if I just tried to, the problem is I need to keep clearing my throat because it gets so dry. If I do that with tea, it's gonna be like. Sound like fucking Krusty the Clown. Hey kids! That's probably not the quote that I should use, really. If China's casting around, you should be there. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. I don't think there's going to be like an English broadcast this year for China, naturally, because we're into it. But I don't think it's a case of like the LPL, where they're just, we don't want to do it anymore. I mean, PJ Sport, Tencent can turn around and say that for Valorant 2, but I think the main reason, oh man, that's you got more first kills and you still lose this hard. They plant 11 out of 12 times. Yeah, just Silver Breach, I don't think you have. Oh! All games are like, we don't want you to see these stats. Stop the count. Yeah, Smoggy's amazing. But yeah, I think for this year not having an English broadcast is just because the China League has just had such a fast and tight turnaround. Like getting an arena set up, getting talent and teams moved over. You got Shanghai right around the corner too. I'm holding out hope that even if I'm not on a China broadcast, that they would do one anyway to see like, because obviously when you have all of these like international leagues, a lot of talent that would work consistently within Americas and EMEA especially got kind of like left out whilst, you know, like the amount of talent that we would see in something like EMEA would be maybe even double, triple what it is at the moment.
来到常规赛的最后一周，我是维嘉。
Hey Anshi Panchi. China production seems great, yeah. And I mean, realistically, for China production, you just get a clean feed and you do casting over it.
让我们听听现场的粉丝们有什么想说的话吧。
Yeah, I'm gonna run ads now just so people don't get them in the middle of the game, so sorry about that. You can obviously subscribe if you have a Twitch Prime save or Twitch Turbo or watch on YouTube or, you know, ad block. Personally, I don't really give too much of a toss, but I just want to make sure that people can just watch the game uninterrupted. Yeah. Yeah, B, I'm just gonna do that. They have a clean feed for MSI. Yeah, but I mean, they have international broadcast for MSI. Is the game right now, is it over? 1-0. So first map. I would have said that it would have been a free map with how good all gamers have been, like, but this might be a bit of a tall order. For all gamers, it's really about, if you're going to get 2-0, don't lose hard, because round differential could be the difference if you making playoffs or not. Currently, it's a feature to mute casters. Is that an in-game viewer? Like, or is that through like their own like stream platform thing, etc.? I feel, for me personally, as this shown off to do skin line, the literal aim hack, wall hack skin line. Score check in the first map, 13-6. You could do that on Huya. Real pay to win skin. It's crazy. I mean, I don't think it's a shock, but it's not like super end of the world. I can understand why something like that was missed. I don't know if that's a hot take from me, maybe. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't think you can use the skin in game. Or you can't buy it at the moment either. Let's have a look at this, sorry. Why is the skin still in the game? Because I'd have to hotfix it to take it out. Hello from New Zealand. Hello. Hello from Great Britain. Oh, as I like to call it, Britain. Somebody said something I wanted to respond to. Yeah, I think like whilst Riot is leaning more into like watch party culture, I don't think that they would ever get into a position where they would stop hiring casters and just have clean feeds sent out to people to watch party 2. I think like the broadcast, like the casters and even stuff like the desk and host and interviews and stuff, you don't want to lose out on that, really. What was the issue with skin? So if you were like close enough to an object and you were inspecting your gun, you could see like pink outlines of players like behind cover. It actually been used properly in like competitive situations. I wouldn't say it's likely, but it's still kind of crazy that it's in the game. But it might be different in like China, like they might be like quite happy to mute casters
就是现在这两支队伍，他们是在最后一周迎来自己的比赛。当然，这还不是 EDG 的。
But I don't think Riot would ever do that.
AG 目前的一个战绩是3胜1负。
They used to, when they used to do watch parties, they would sometimes send out a clean feed with no casters. But
进入到季后赛，但是输掉的话，那就要看。
I never used it, and most watch parties wouldn't use it either. I will steal the China caster wardrobe. Can you imagine putting me in stuff like this? I mean, the jacket on the right definitely could wear that. I might look like somebody at the fucking football factory, but... LPL Valorant Grand Finals is happening now? Isn't the LPL Valorant Grand Finals like OCE? You think EDG will clear Master Shanghai? I don't think they'll clear it, but I think they'll do better than they did at Madrid. Right kind of change that they've made, and they're playing better than they did beforehand. Like, there's definitely a lot of rounds there where I'm like, EDG shouldn't be getting away with this, but that was mostly on their attack side. On their defense, I don't think you could say... Oh, sorry. Their attack side, you can't really say that they did that too much. They weren't BSing their way into a 9-3 half. They just were the better team, full stop. Is it the best chance to win it for Pacific? Yeah, I think so. I think the problem is if we see a Pacific team win it, you're gonna have like trolls argue that this is a bit of a Mickey Mouse event because it doesn't have much. Teams are gonna be aiming to be at champs more than they're gonna be aiming at Shanghai. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let me message Gorilla. Gorilla.
马德里大师赛回来之后啊，然后就这个图又经历了一些，应该说一些变化和一些调整吧。
而且确实这张地图 EDG 上一次打是在起点赛阶段了，那接下来来到了 Stage 1的这样一个阶段，也不知道他们会不会有新的阵容要去掏出来。对，就所以我说就是可能要经历一些调整，因为他在这个马德里大师赛是一个1胜1负，对吧？这1胜1负，而且尤其是最后这个收尾的这一负收的并不是很好看，输了而难受。
So let me just reply to these.
当时是被这个 Loud 的海神体系被分割的非常严重，他们没有办法解决自己。 就是当时是一个很明显的情况，就是自己总是被对面分隔，然后自己想要打防守反清，利用 KO 的防守反清利用不到。那再结合最近 EDG 的一个位置上的变化，因为 Smoky 现在就之前在打 Loud 的时候是 Smoky 的 KO 去配合康康的解封，如果没有记错的话，但现在位置也做调整，我们来看一下。
Same comps, looks like it. Yeah, solo initiate Harbor Viper from All Gamers, which is like, bleh. And an EDG. Were they running this before actually? We haven't seen them play Icebox in a hot minute, so I'm trying to check. This might be new from them. Yep, this is new from them. Gecko KO. They were running Sova KO beforehand. Yeah, running Silver KO beforehand. So, I don't know if it's much better, to be honest. I would have liked to Sage. I don't want to do my Anders impression. What would I even say if I wanted to do an Anders impression? I hate no silver on Icebox, yeah, me too. I kind of hate both these comps a similar amount, slightly. Hello Zeral, Battle Sage Best Agent. Funnily enough, Sage has not been played in China this year so far, which is crazy to me. The two Chinese agents, ISO and Sage, have not been played in China. Like, it makes me sad, especially on this map. Like, if I'm a Chinese team, I'm just going for, like, the Fnatic comp. I'm not overthinking. Maybe now you might want to go Harbor Viper because of the Viper nerfs coming in, but... EDG versus All Gamers. EDG have changed their comp. They've moved away from Silver and they've got the Gecko. Which, honestly, if nobody's becoming a bit of a Gecko one-trick, I'm all for that. Chichu's about to get a scare of his life, but he still gets one. At least that's a good read to know that EDG are mental enough to push through a smoke like that. But now you're in a 4 versus 3. KO Knife's got some good information, whatever you were planning on doing before has to be reset.
是一个1换2，小火龙是倒了。那对于
But yeah, you're looking at what's alive. There's no Viper, so this Viper wall, which is pretty much the default way of doing it, not in at the moment, and nobody is just facing on the angle. Stood on a box, assuming that this is going to be the first point of contact and not up here or not up here. And he's right. He's just, I can't believe he's just like actually ego peeked it and he's won. He's reloading and he's back in off of a KO flash. I mean, the flash was sick actually that came in from Haodong. Jesus Christ. It's one of the few all-gamers pistols that they've ended up losing.
成功的兜住了这个压力比较大的一个残局啊，
一个本来是少一人的残局，对，而且这一波他的点是会收的非常多。是
I mean, it's a good idea though. He's like, there's no Aldrun to clear this. There's no really any utility for them to use to get past this angle other than a Gecko flash.
关键的人。
当然，其实这个选择是非常。
But they wanted to full contact because they didn't want to give away what they were doing, which is fair enough. Look at this very interesting buy-up. 2 rifle, well, 1 rifle, Bulldog, Guardian, Marshall, Ghost for Haodong. Kernev gets some good information there. Nobody's just fighting again. He's pretty much got his flash online already.
那 Nobody 收爽了呀！他现在距离自己的无敌超杀只差1个点数。
是，而且爆弹器掉在这样一个位置，
兄弟你冲啊！你就差1个点数，你不冲那我来。坏了，
哎，2颗子弹，
让点心切。
看看有没有容错啊？还真有。他倒了以后，
他倒了也有大招的。
对，浩东也能把枪捡回来。位置已经被发现，贴到脸上了。
Nice 4K. All right, yep, you got your fresh by round 3.
这怎么搞？这个
Sage instead of a duelist forts. Yeah, that's like my go-to.
他也没有去前面去获取太多的这个地图上的能量点数。
就你来了我就接，你敢来我就敢接。
而且刚好2个。
I think what Gentlemates and KC do on this map are some of my favorites.
其实 AG 这个回合他们甚至说。 输了是可以去接受的，但是最不想发生的情况是点数全给 Nobody。
我看到其他队友
I don't really like KO on this map. Just full stop.
加起来可能都没有他多。
是，资源倾斜的有点严重啊，确实也不。
Like Gecko, Sova, Sage, Viper Killjoy is like my god comp.
这一分是一定要当心的，他们开头就把0点修缮交了，所以他们必须要等。我觉得他们第2波进点是肯定要这个0点修缮要留着的，要争取去收对面的无敌超杀。 否则对于你来说就是要顶着这个巨大压力。
Is the Team Heretics comp your favorite? Low key, like I think running Reyna and Jet if you just want to do something that's really like disruptive worked fine. I mean, we've already seen that KC are a team that like they can play meta stuff and they can cook up things against really meta comps. But if you pull some super non-meta out against them, they tend to like look a little bit more rattled.
难度是非常之大的。
是，时间一点一点在拖啊。
I don't know if Gentlemates is out right now.
要去布置这个局，从天而降的一个0点修弹，把 B 点的2个人的位置给探出来了，应该是。
但这个 B 点有可能是 AG 故意卖给你的信息，他巴不得天上有一颗0点修弹看到。
是，暴露出来位置是奇乐和蝰蛇。
对 ，EDG 看一下怎么消化这个。
For me personally, when like Reyna's picked, I mean, there's some time like you've got to just view it as like if you're picking Reyna, you are like it's a Hail Mary, and that's fine. But when I see like, oh, they're playing Reyna, this is so suboptimal. What are these teams doing? Sometimes you just need to go and do what Bren said and shoot them in the fucking face. Sorry, Sliggy. Recording this VOD onto his channel.
打 B 啊，防守方已经提前带动了，不管是康康还是球球，都已经提前回到了 B 点附近。
就14秒。
Our gamers are leaving this very late in the day. You got no Sage Roll. You know, Sage Roll would be nice here, right? And time, it's done. What a round to lose. 4 people still alive and you couldn't get the plant down.
我没有看错，其实无敌超杀都没交。对。 当然，好像能保下来3把狂徒，这是对于 AG 来说唯一能够。
All game is looking any good. Across the stage, they're looking all right. Today, not great.
你考虑到对面有无敌超杀，你还要把这个时间留得再多充裕一点点。说实话，因为假设对面交了无敌超杀，你可能要必须要取消安包，然后第2轮再去安，甚至可能会。
You can't play such a slow B hit against a team of 4 molly agents. No way to protect them. Well, you got Harbor Cove, but it's not stopping the mollies, that's for sure.
这个位置你就是很难一波去安置下来。
那这样的话，第4分 AG 是靠着保下来的3把枪去打一个残阵，而防守方直接骑到了民居，康康架到自己 A 点2楼的一个高点位，非常的舒服的一个位置。
这个
The fact that Chichu could be this brave, that he's got his turret in Lambot and he just watched this angle with a Guardian. Because I think if you're going to run Harbor and Viper, you want to be trying to influence this a lot more. That's what DRG do really well with it. Like, they put TCH into positions where you can Poison Cloud this, or like Harbor Wall this, and you can just allow a little bit, like, pockets and stuff for a Viper to sneak through and lurk. Means that the Viper doesn't need to worry about being the main controller. They can, like, lurk a bit more. Good push-up from Spitfires, needed. 3v3, this isn't needed, but it might catch him by surprise. It isn't a good place to be fighting. Stop holding W, please. Just getting one there. You at the advantage. You can, like, you know, back down here or just stay here. Just buy time. Because if you, like, just hang around here, they can't really do this at the pace that they're doing it. You planted the spike. Almost too easy. I mean, it went from Spitfires making a great play to an exceptional play to ruining it in quick succession. How does that Mosh get a kill? Because they're right on this, like, pocket, I think. They might have been quite low, too. Hit a fantastic shot. Oh, right. I don't know why Sod9... I guess he didn't realize that you... I can definitely see those moments where you, like, don't realize that you're, like, quite in it, or you walk into it by accident. Nobody turned into somebody. Yeah, turned into something. Yeah, I mean, especially when you've planted the spike, right? Just... EDG's biggest enemy isn't the 3 players alive, it's the clock. So it's like 4 versus 2. This might be a very quick stream. It might be a very quick day. What's the game tomorrow? Because tomorrow starts at the same time, which isn't 1 PM, it's midday for me. And FPX maybe? Perhaps. It is Wolves versus JDG. So are we expecting a Wolves win? Or JDG's first win? I don't know how I'm going to feel with that game. So I like both the teams, but I just want to see Well, Wolves can still make it. But I don't want to see JDG go 0-5 in a stage. Yeah, Wolves definitely need to win for playoffs. Alright, all gamers have a full buy. KO Knife's got some information at least. Nobody's close, nobody's fighting aggressively. Kung Kung as the operator. Lambot underneath in the turret watching the cross, which again, this isn't being disrupted at all. Which just makes EDG's life very easy. In fact, they could even, like, push this and flank all the way around and have mid control, and you're going to be panicking. But at least all gamers plant the spike. Spitfires is aggressively facing. I don't mind that too much. Everybody else is getting into position. Spitfires has at least got a snake bite out early. Turret's been broken, so they know that somebody's flanking. It gets information on 2. The Thrash is good. Really good position. And did it get 2 of them? Bunt was trying to protect them. No, only got 1. But luckily, Spitfires has had to back off here. But that's good information. EDG saw Spitfires here like 20 seconds ago. Now they know he's here. So they know that nobody's really playing on site now. That Reckoning is used behind them to get the KO. Alright, they do get it in the end. I mean, it looked way more chaotic than, like, having 3 people survive there. Thought it was descending more into mud. Do you want to do a power ranking after split 1? Yeah, probably. I'm going into playoffs, I could do pick'ems and top 3 the teams a bit more. It's a good shot, though, from Haodong. Alright, you get on the boards. At what cost, though? Kung Kung still isn't up because of the money. Showstopper for Spitfires. Snake bite use. KO Knife gonna hit 2 of them. So what does Kung Kung do here? He can't dash out. Was there a KO flash there too? Really nice. Here though, Monk, this is a terrible peek. That is a terrible idea. No fear. I don't know if he's still, like, did he have his cove? He was just full sending it.
还好浩东跟 Nobody 磕了回来，是这个无效命直接开启之后，两边都是拉开了，在
What on earth are we thinking?
结束了进攻方也没有烟可以起了 ，Bont 和 Monk 都倒了，双烟都不在，他们现在只能去用枪把。
Knife gets Chichu on site. Well, Knife's used to know where Haodong is, to know where Chichu is. The flash isn't great because it didn't hit either of these two players. Oh, nice fights from Spitfires. 1 versus 1, Haodong versus Sword9. Old assistant coach for EDG versus the IGL. That's why I was coaching. Oh man, all gamers, come on, like, you could even get the kill here. You've got this Viper wall, get the kill here, you can cut noise, maybe even go back to like mid, go back to A. See if they're flanking you, pushing up, but instead you send it, and you send in your harbor first. This is great. This isn't.
意识到这个截锋，其实康康是没有什么办法的。就本来其实你去轰截锋是有很大的风险概率的。对，截锋是有可能会飞走的。就凌空逐风。
Here, like, I don't mind Spitfires trying to go for more. It's just a chaotic fight, but I don't know why Sword9 goes and peeks for that. That's why he's coaching. Now, to be fair, Sword9 has been amazing. Like, he's been such a good IGL and a good addition for all gamers.
拿到了1分胜利之后，是立刻又迎来了一场失败，所以就是等于这个我们经常说的1胜1负嘛，经济有点爆炸。球球。 数位找到一个角度，给中路的人对掉了一个，2个人小脑中直接倒2个，哇 ！Delby 刚拉出来的位置也是被 Nobody 稳稳的给补下。
这种交战距离太远了，最后小火龙跳上来的时候，队友已经没人了，所以他这把判官是没有任何空间的。
Flawless, I mean, done in 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Usually it's unexpected. Yeah, but judging on how Haodong played it, I don't think he thought it was unexpected.
这一下也是等于给 EDG， 不管是在经济储存
，like even though like put it this way, when the plant is down, it's a 1 versus 1. Who should the pressure be on more? The attacker or the defender? Should be the defender, right? Because the defender not only needs to like either get the kill, but he needs to get the defuse. They have 2 things to do. The attacker, all they need to do is like get the kill, or play for time. So the fact that Haodong can comfortably sit and let you get pressured by the situation for you to just peek out and panic almost. This is like EDG are like 4-1 up, so like, yeah, we lose this round, whatever. Fantastic shot from Kung Kung, to be honest. This is a good split, though, actually. Much better from all gamers. And just because of the stuff the Spitfires was doing last time, you did have Smoggy backing off all the way to watch Kitchen until Chichu got into a position. Not a great fight. Again, I don't mind 3 players being in a post-plant position and then you just let Spitfires try to do duelisty things. I like giving duelists the freedoms to try and make plays because even if they don't get the kill, they get information. Again, Sword9, like, peeking because they're just in a bit of a rough spot. Great mollies, though, to delay this, but the snake bite. The flash is just yeeted out. They're on the defuse. Good fight. Double peek this together. Really nice from all gamers, yeah. You finally won a game. Congrats.
他们能够去很自信的拖掉那个比较关键的时间。
不过这一分中路还是蛮伏笔的，我有注意到这个防守方 EDG 的技能给法。
Is it a hot take to say that EDG top 3 in Shanghai? Yeah, I'd say so.
自动哨兵是放在了中路转 A 点那个路上锅炉房那个旁边的那个位置。
I think the spicier take, which I'm a fan of, FPX top 3 at Shanghai. That's not necessarily my take, but I'm thinking, like, if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, ooh, I like that.
白箱这个区域想要去保民居有更大一个收益，
地大嘛。
哇
，Nobody
真的也很敢，直接站在了一个世界位上。
That's one like
赌你不来
spicy.
一个身躯啊，人也没往下跳。
假的，
是。
Well, like, EDG top 3. It's not that it's like lukewarm. I just don't think it's likely. Like, I haven't seen enough from EDG to make me think that they could out fundamental some of these teams. Whereas FPX is like, we've got better at our fundamentals, we're a lot tighter as a team, but we're also just playing ridiculous comps.
没有闪哦，现在索纳已经没有闪了，进攻方没有太多压制对面视野的技能。
Trace top 3 is like you're on whatever drug that you're on. Give me a slice.
进不了，我觉得至少要等一等。其实还有50秒，是 AG 没有那么急，时间没有那么去压制到他们。正面1v1球球。
I think China's region can do quite well just because it is in Shanghai. Home buff. 4v3 though. Spike still hasn't been planted. And Monk again, like, he's not even going for the plant. Nobody's just on this corner. You just can't clear him. Alright, they clear him. Now it's Kung Kung with an op. He has Blade Storm though, so with Bunt being 13 HP, or even just running in with a shot, he might catch him. Yeah, that's the Blade Storm.
没有办法收他的刀，
再去操作一下的。
零点球弹给到了错误的方向，没有收掉，有没有意识到？其实在另外
Yeah, nicely done. Putting Sword 9 first as well because he has the higher health. Didn't even get hit.
腐蚀掉康康比较多血量的情况下，剑九拿下了这个餐具。
这一分其实零点修弹相当于做了个排除法啊，帮他确保说另外一头这个截锋不在，那大概率这个截锋就从另外一边绕过来。
但是对于 EDG 来说，他们的经济情况还是会比较乐观的，所以我觉得这个其实也是更多的。刚刚在这个回合选择驾驭巨人。
DRX appeared Brex Opium. I mean, I don't think we can say if Americas or EMEA are at the table when it comes to who are favorites until we see like playoffs, right? We don't know who's even making playoffs, never mind who's making it from those regions. Because, you know, like if Fnatic just suddenly look a lot better and they just dominate in playoffs, you'd say that they're a favorite.
一个混起的分数，
给康康已经送到了这样的一个位置，球球又是数位已经点掉了一个人，但是 Monk 的补枪还来得比较快。
Chichu has been a little bit over aggressive, but this is like a low buy for them. Thrash is going to get used. Oh, thankfully it is broken. They know that somebody's in the tube, but they've managed to just get out. Monk doesn't have a Cove anymore because I think he used it to try and protect himself from all of the shit that was just happening. But now they're just walking over towards B main. Which, with this information, 2 people pushing up, they hear nothing. KO knife mid sees nothing. This should be the natural reaction. Why do I feel it's Smoggy? Even though he is a sheriff, he's going to get one here. He might kill Monk, but it'll be a headshot, so it'll be even more funnier.
给了0点秀探也知道点内是没有更多人在了。护流也已经给了出来，技能是完全
这个暴选他要留给手包用，是有点贪，但他贪到了，
真贪到了。
Snake just sort of sent out.
我们看到刚刚第一时间是在 A 和中路的，
而且等会儿大概还有20秒左右，他就会重生。
Every team looks a mess. I mean, good teams playing up against other good teams can sometimes produce mud Valorant.
看一下会不会触发，好，有点
会吧。
We've definitely seen a lot more mud Valorant, but assuming that mud Valorant comes from 2 bad teams, that's jail Valorant. Mud Valorant is 2 good teams or... Yeah, 2 good teams, one of them playing badly. And even one team playing scrappy can bring the other one down, quality-wise. Good retake, though, from EDG. Again, it's one of those rounds where, like, things get a little bit close. I think even all gamers were in a 4v5. And it was a low buy for EDG. Hey, yo, Kung Kung.
这个鼠标垫的配合并不是很好，
跟熟悉的自己不是一个味儿。但对的，我们看到这一把里面啊，这张3强动奥里面2个先锋之间的配合相当之多。就 KO 跟KO 跟。
Did you do your Pacific pick'ems for playoffs? Not yet, actually. Maybe I could do that at the end of the stream. Sorry, I'm trying to get into this corner of my chair.
更多是防守方去支架的一个方式，而这种反清更多是2个先锋之间做一个联动。
夸张好 ，Nobody 这个数据17
对，就其实有点把 Nobody 作为影子决斗的一个位置样子在打了。
对的，2个先锋互相在帮助。
对，就浩东的闪去丢出去，然后让 Nobody 变成了一个决斗位。
护流掩护队友过点，打一个穿烟闪，效果非常好，贴到脸上，我的天
！Nice try, I guess, from Spitfires. Pretty much an eco. Shellstopper's used here. It's dodged again by Kung Kung.
他主要是怕浩东的无效命令，所以他只能很仓促的给出自己的。
I don't think he was really that close, but he did updraft to get out of the way of it. And he gets Sword 9. And I think he knows that there's 1 player GL. Yeah, he's just pinged them. They peek together. They line up on top of each other. Just give the guy an ace. Just do it. Just do it. Everybody's here for it. Oh, boo, Spitfires. Get off the stage.
这2分打完，我觉得对于 AG 来说， 热闹是热闹了，但是
不是热闹，感觉也都是 EDG 的呀。
对，而且你要考虑到其中有一分热闹是在 EDG 的存钱分，其实被翻了。
对，
最终是被翻了。你中间经历了非常多的曲折，什么中路化解到这边的无敌超杀，救了个人出来，但是你还是被翻了。然后这一分又在自己的彻底的存钱分，又没有给到对面太多的威胁。
对的。
Yeah, if I'm doing I'll do my Anders impression. Like, I need to like straight up like massive traps, you know, really like perfect posture. He'd be like, it's because of the mid-rounding meta that I helped put together. We're in less of a strength side of that. Utility by proxy. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got from today. Oh no. Anders be glazing himself. To be fair, he is quite literally the Eric Andre show. Why are you booting me? I'm right.
其实，在前点拿到这个击杀之后，我觉得 AG 是大可以把这个节奏压下来。现在表上还有60秒不止，他们可以随便去规划自己想要打的东西。现在对于他们来说，威胁最大是那个全面封锁。
But it suited Fnatic because Fnatic are very good at taking something very simple and then having adjustments and protocols depending on the situation. But they didn't have a load of strats off the rip. It was like, we have this like one default that splits into dozens, if not hundreds of different variations, which is very like mid-rangey, mid-roundy naturally. And it lends itself to agents like Viper and Sky who can keep using utility frequently, or putting the wall up and down, Sky flashing every 35 seconds.
索纳肯定是没命了，所以是一个2打4的残局。这波假打的代价颇高。
是。只剩2个人了。那甚至 AG 剩下这2个人都要选择比较激进的一个打法。
Anything cool in these games so far? No, not really.
吃了一发闪现，按兵不动，不出枪就是最好的伪装色。险些有一个1传2，但是皮蛋已经。
I think both teams outrunning the best comps, Neil. But what else is new? Another 8-4 half.
残局，他们接住了队友给的余波，哇！这是拿命换来的假打。
I mean, EDG have changed their comp to play the Gecko KO. But a lot of what they're doing is just not being cleared. Maybe all game is overextending. Doing this 400 times this half.
但我只要出枪了，我就肯定会把第一时间的机会就丢掉了。主要这个地方也确实是在丢丢已经被打掉了。
Do you spot any team in the playoffs, or are you just a neutral? It depends on the match, really. Like, I like all gamers. I want to see like teams just do well and improve.
终于是在热闹里面是热闹回来自己的1分啊。
对，拿回来了属于自己比较关键的这样的1分了。
I just don't want JDG to just keep getting destroyed. That's the only team I like actively support.
这个我们其实无畏契约的这个表情包里面有很多是这个致敬的梗啊。对的。
Can Will still qualify? Yeah.
老2次元了。
是的。哎，
这个怎么有人在怎么有不一样啊？借机对吧？
Stage arena looks cool in China, to be fair. This is going to be the arena that they played the first part of Shanghai in, Neil, so with any luck, you'll be experiencing playing there. Did you guys like answer why you played Jet Reina on this against KC? Did you see that some EDG, some Chinese teams ran Viper Reina last week? BLG did it and Tech did it, and they both won. So 100% win rate with a comp so far, I think, in T1.
要怎么样去限制一下 Nobody 选手他的手感和状态？对。
I mean, that's just, I think it's like a good idea though, because it feels like KC went like, whether it's the foot comp on Lotus, whether it was the Reina Jet, they just don't seem to be very good at dealing with weird stuff. You just went for something simple. Yeah, I mean, it's a Hail Mary. And it's also like, if you end up losing that map, you're just like, fucking whatever. Let's go on to like our pick. Wasn't the comp FX run against KC at Madrid? I don't know. But I think they did it for a similar reason. Yeah, FX did choke on that map. They had, what, like 2/3 of the first kills and still lost because Berlin couldn't stop pushing this. Anywho, new half, chance for all gamers. Their pistols are usually top tier. This is scary to even attempt to do. But EDG are going to do it anyway because Chi-Chu's found that space in mid. They put the... I wonder if this is a bit of an anti-strat. Like maybe they know that all gamers put their Killjoy utility on A, so they're like, well, let's just bum rush mid. So I was going to say, if you just have a normal setup in mid with stuff, you'll do a lot better with it too. They know that he's here, Kungu's trying to get on the angle first, and he just wins the fight. It's not often that you see all gamers losing both pistols on a map. I do actually look at Madrid. I didn't watch them. Yeah, for them it was just... They surprised themselves, I think, with how much they mechanically matched up to teams. That they were going and fighting against KC, but coming out with better numbers. But I think once things went quiet, FPX didn't really know how to go about gaining information. So they'd either sit back and just kind of let an execute happen to them, or more likely, especially on maps like this, they would overextend for information. They just played with so much confidence, and they almost like doubled down on doing the silly things because they didn't want to be conditioned away from it. Nice Marshall shot. Nice Sheriff shot. Brave positioning, no, for all gamers. If you put a stack on A and it still doesn't work. Yeah, scrims don't matter. But also, wasn't KC their first game? So why would they have scrimmed them after they played against them? Yeah, like I'm a Hull City fan saint, and I remember like one of the quotes that Phil Brown used to say a lot when we got promoted is like, we're making mistakes in the championship we would have got away with, but against Premier League level teams, they just exploit the shit out of it. And that's kind of what China's been. That's why when the EDG lose, they get hammered. They get demolished on a lot of maps. Because the usual like confidence magical stuff that they were doing that should have been exploited more actually was getting exploited to the point where they just looked toothless. Yeah, I'm really excited for FPX. Like, I know that Berlin does his best like Angel impression a lot of the time, but actually listening to him talk and how that role-wise the team's been put together, it doesn't matter if we don't have, like, if it just really turns into a no Viper meta, I don't think it matters because you've got Autumn on that role and he can play pretty much anything at this rate. Yeah, it seems like a really like intelligent team. Probably one of the most self-aware Chinese teams I've seen. Great peek, actually. Neither of them are watching it. Nah, they still win the round though, so that's good. On a KC versus FPX low so bad. Oh, that's when FPX would pull out like Clove, won't they? They will just giga cook with it, you know, they'll overdo it. China Spring and Autumn, where's Summer and Winter? Yeah, we're still waiting for them. There's surely a pro play called Winter too. Gecko flash over the top. It's a good flash, but how easy is it to get to it? It's landed on top of on pipes. And it's given Spitfires permission. He is just all in, isn't he? Oh, and then Sword 9 peaks too. You almost killed 3 of them. Spitfires needs an off button. Because once he's like peeking and crouching, he might as well just glue himself to the floor.
来了，留了一个，
给到了选择黄香的0点嗅探，张宇升起来，
There's the fresh.
但是无敌超杀
Anything to stop it? I mean, good spray. I like the little scared jump from Bunt. Good read to know that they were going to sort of wrap around on the site. But you're up against Smoggy. Like, his aim too good. Wow, even Kung Kung's just going like that. I am on 43 HP. I am a killjoy turret. And yeah, saving these guns is important. That's such a shame. Look how low they are.
问题是分数怎么办呢？这一分分的分在
下一分可能会强起。你现在经济来看，因为 Monk 这个3450，如果加1000的话，下一分是可以强起的。
对的，
他可以给队友发。
I mean, I don't think I could be confident to say I don't think that this team's gonna make Shanghai, especially for like EMEA. Like, I don't know who's in.
EDG 集合。
Like, part of me is just like, I don't even want to think about the permutations.
往典礼藏的话，应该是比较难找。
这真的不往 A 点外面再走一走吗，朋友们？也来不及，攻击不大，这3秒应该也来不及再过来。
Like the whole playing opposite group stuff just make it incredibly complicated.
一分对于 AG 来说，可能说是决生死。
对，因为要强起，要进 all in 自己的。
Yeah, they lost on Breeze to EDG. But I do think that like EDG played the map really well. But at the same time, like FPX role swapped, they put Ayang on Astra instead of Sova. And I understand why they want they want Berlin to be playing with the team as the Sova instead of on their own as the Astra. But I don't know. Ayang's too good of a Sova, and I really like Berlin on the Astra too. EDG always lost occasionally in regionals, even before Tokyo. It's just that EDG have been in the radar now. People are overreact when EDG lose. I mean, there's a hyper overreaction to good teams losing at the moment. Fnatic lost. Boaster washed. Sentinels are losing. Refund the Sentinels bundle. Bleed's a different story, but you get my point. Like, there has never been more of a time to have wishing for teams' downfall circle jerks. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... people are addicted to it right now. And also they're like, oh, did you see that EA and Bleed were like 11-2 down in a scrim against the Game Changers team? Does it matter? Do I care? No. Should you care? Probably not. It's a scrim. You're also directly insinuating that because it's a Game Changers team, they can't be good. Which is also kind of a crappy thing to do. Like, imagine how you feel if you're like a if you're one of the Game Changers players and you see people talking about that. You might be like, oh, we played really well there. Like, we were trying to and it went fantastic. We should be proud of it. And then everybody's like, lol, how did Bleed do badly against this Game Changers team? Like, first of all, do we even know that that was a thing? And second, maybe Bleed were playing with their coach because one of them was like ill, had stuff to do.
AG 也在动 ，AG 也在动，但是 A 点没打过怎么办？
害怕数位格贴到脸上了，看一下 Swanai 跟球友这个位置挺关键的，剑九也是没有预料到在厨房已经有人在。
This is just way too dominant. Kung Kung's got a good angle here. Spitfire's not aware. Flawless, yep. Maybe one of the quickest series that we've seen, but that's just the EDG way.
这也是你没有少尉的问题，对吧？你没有奇乐的问题，
不知道人在哪。这个奇乐前面的技能，
Not gonna name the team, but Monya got signed for Split 2.
你失去了中路的信息。
See when it comes out. Does it count if Monya stays at Paper X? He's still signed there. I was right.
就是我们要分出个结果来。
对，
然后这样会在中路。
No, it's not gonna count. I was gonna say.
但是结果是中路变成了一个不尴不尬的局面，然后防守方退了回来。当小火龙从中路的位置让出来，他就应该知道中路变成了一个不安全的位置。
对的。
We've made it big. We've got breaking news with no source, just general.
白马康康在另外一头有收获。是。这波小火龙的旁边的朋友已经倒完了，而且中路也有被包抄，到处都是进攻方的强线。
是的。
中路也有进攻方的，厨房也是进攻方的强线。EDG 的人满地图都是。
哎，绕回来看到了，铁栏杆稍微帮忙他挡了一点子弹，最后的要兵的位置。
They'll be all on you. 13-5. So EDG, I think that means that they made playoffs. For all gamers, I think they're still in a fairly safe position. At least they were before this series, but the fact that they get 2-0'd and they kind of get demolished 13-5, 13-6, round differential is going to be a lot worse. It provides an opportunity for Tech at the weekend. Yeah, Tech didn't do that much better, but it might be against the other teams realistically. I could whisper Ryan a team name, don't, because like in the nicest possible way, I don't really care. Like, I'd be glad to see Moniet on another team. I'm sure there's plenty of teams that could do roster changes that could benefit having Moniet on them, but I would prefer to just see it when it's announced. So either they have to win dominantly twice in the 2-1 or 2-0. So if they win 2-0, they're in. Right, gotcha. But yeah, this was EDG. They've got another series to play against Trace. Really good response after losing against FPX. Against all gamers who have been, like, realistically quite good. Definitely, like, should be around playoffs. I personally rate all gamers a little bit better than Tech. But I think all gamers' biggest problem is themselves. So, we'll see how they do. Alright. Sorry, just recording and finishing all of that for Sliggy's channel. So yeah, if you watch Sliggy's VOD channel, you might see me talking about China in the days where either Sliggy is asleep or busy, or days where Pacific's on at the same time, which is most of this week, most of next week.
阵容选择，然后包括地图的选择逻辑都没有什么特别大的问题，只是说可能有更多的细节应该去推敲，应该去打磨。那这也是我们在赛前采访的时候问到的。
Tech have got a chance. Yes, they do.
上场的失败之后总结出来。
But also Nova do. So Tech versus Nova, it might be a bit of a muddy series of Valorant, to be honest. But at the same time, America's matches start today too. Do they? I thought it's like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because unless they have a bit more of a super week. But EMEA are on today and tomorrow, and then they've got playoffs from Wednesday to Friday, or Wednesday to Sunday. I don't know. I don't even want to look at VLR because VLR have been wrong today, so. No, America's today. Yeah. Americas have had their super week already, so I'd imagine the rest of their schedule would be somewhat the same. It's only EMEA today. What are the EMEA games today? And what time do they start? They start in like 2 hours, don't they? So I'm actually, it's crazy. This series took less than 2 hours. It's pretty much a 90-minute series. What do we want to check? Well, EMEA is on later. Says I don't want to check. Team Vitality versus Koi. I mean, please don't lose this Vitality, I swear. And then Navi versus Fnatic later. Very spicy. Very nice. Especially when it's like whoever wins gets in for playoffs. I think the first seed potentially. God forbid if Fnatic lose this. And then BBL play foot right at the end of the stage. And Team Liquid have to beat Gentlemates. I would love to see all of these teams on 3 wins, 3 losses. It'd just be such a silly thing. But yeah, I sort of will. There's no point me waiting around for EMEA to start to then host like Sliggy, so I guess we won't do that. But for upcoming matches for the rest of the stage, we have Wolves versus JD Gaming tomorrow at 12. Time's right at least, that's good. So that is JDG can't qualify yet. That's another really good point. Actually, I was going to open it with this. Let's see. EDG are in for playoffs. Hooray! Woo! As if there was any surprise. Not confirmed whether they're top seed yet. I guess we can close this too. Oh, actually, I think the interview would be really good, actually, if Sprite's around. So we'll stay for the interview and have it translated. Yeah, not confirmed who the top seed is just yet. JDG don't have anything to play for. Wolves do. And then on the Saturday, we have DRG versus Tyloo. Tyloo don't have anything to play for. DRG fighting for playoffs. Billy versus FPX. Fantastic series. I think Billy might be able to give it some more than they have, but let's see. And then Nova versus Tech, Trace versus EDG at the end. So honestly, Trace versus EDG could be a big game for either side. Well, more for Trace. But by then we would have seen Tech play, so maybe this like Trace versus EDG game right at the end of the stage might not really amount to much. It might be for like EDG making top seed potentially, but I guess it depends on how well DRG do.
是我们一起来看一下这个爆能器的获胜比上面啊 ，AG 在自己的多个的进攻。
Super likely that teams don't care at all about making masters at this point either, because it'll be a mess with a new update. Yeah, mess with a new update. The fact that you don't really get points, not confirmed yet. Like people have said that you get points in playoffs, but I haven't seen anybody say that. The only thing that's a source for that, I guess, is the fact that DRX have 5 points on Liquipedia instead of 4. Sorry, 6 points instead of 5. But I don't. I'm not using that as my basis. Like that's the thing that people are saying is like the differentiating factor of getting points at playoffs. But until I see it like in the rulebook or have a team confirm it, I'm not believing it. Sorry. Because I'm pretty sure, like, look.
对，
而对于 AG 来说，他们目前还没有从小组的迷雾当中脱出，他们目前是以3胜2负0净胜地图的战绩去收尾，而接下来那就要看 T， 因为现在两边的情况会非常的
Group victory, match victory. It says it there, but oh no, that's for stage. It doesn't say for playoffs. I wonder. That might be why. Maybe they've got something that sort of gives the point directly on a match victory, but it doesn't specify that for playoffs it doesn't have that. So I don't know. I'm personally, I fundamentally believe that there's no points for playoffs. But if I'm wrong, I'd love to know. Alright, we'll do interview and then we'll do Pacific Pick'ems.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到赛后采
I'm
访。
asleep, right? Good night, good night. See you tomorrow if you're around.
本场比赛的胜利，站在我旁边的是球球选手，球球先和大家打个招呼吧。
Hello， 大家好，我是 EDG 的球球。
欢迎球球，也恭喜你们赢下了比赛的胜利。首先第一个问题，因为你们每一次的首班都是莲花古城，但是首选是非常灵活多样的。这个地图 BP 每一次都是怎么考虑的呢？
我们还是就是以前国外的强队都会有一张固定不玩的图嘛，然后我们也是。要延续这个思路去固定搬一张图，然后去让我们其他图更加熟练一点。
参考之前和他们交手的经验，尽量把每一张地图的熟练度都提高。是的，明白。那对于你们来说，你认为地？
By the way, I'm not ignoring chat. I'm just letting people listen so they can translate.
很高吧，因为你得去面对到不同的阵容的时候，去运用这个地图的一个理解，去更好的去打我们的战术吧，灵活一点。
理解每一张地图，这样才能打好每一场比赛。那日落之城这张地图上，在很多队伍都会认为双先锋的版本比较强势的一个情况下，你们每次选择的都是一个单先锋的盖可，那这是出于怎样的考虑呢？
我觉得是出于我们更适合我们吧，然后以及我们可以更好的去用这套阵容去打爆弹跟默认什么的，
是更适配你们的打法。那其实 Nobody 选手也是在这个赛季他刚刚开始尝试盖可的嘛？你觉得他现在的表现怎么样？
我觉得玩得很不错呀，
很不错，非常好。
是的，
是的。那赛前在采访 Sport Night 的时候，他说过，其实他们在每次手枪局的时候都会有一些特殊的布置。今天你们在跟他们手枪局的时候，有感受到他们一些特殊的准备吗？
因为15-9是我们的前教练嘛，然后也比较熟悉他吧，他也一直有就是在用我们以前的手枪局，就是去更加优化。我们看他比赛录像，我们也能看出来，所以说我们也是有所提防的，对。
有所提防的，今天也是发现了他们的一些小准备。因为第一张地图在手枪局的时候，可能你们有一些失利，但是来到了第二张地图之后，手枪局一下就表现得非常的好，是不是也抓到了他们的一个布置习惯了？
其实第一张图我们可能因为我们自己的小细节的失误，然后导致于我们输掉了手枪局。然后第二张图开始的时候，我们教练就求我们去一定要去拿下这个手枪局，所以说我们就更加谨慎一点去拿下了。
求求你们了，手枪局千万不要输，一定要向九哥争气。 是，那进入到季后赛之后，其实还是会和前半队的一些队伍交手。
Okay.
而且我们会发现，在这一个赛段开始，其实每一支队伍都在不断的成长和进步。那你觉得对于你们队伍来说，现阶段在短时间内最应该提升哪一部分呢？
我觉得还是在面对到那种少见的阵容上面的我们的应变吧，因为我们上一场就是对于叶路这个英雄，还是我们队员打得不太够灵活，然后被牵制住了，然后就陷入了死循环。我觉得还需要我们更加的去练一练吧。
还是需要更多的精力一下，去积累足够多的经验，应变不同的阵容。明白。那最后一个问题呢，是由我们欧门暗影精灵带来的粉丝提问，我们很想问一下球球选手，作为一个蝰蛇的专精玩家，当你发现新版本蝰蛇发生了大削之后，你当时是什么心情？
我是觉得 Viper 可以下场的，就我觉得应该是双球员的时代了。
哦，双球员，那你觉得5烟的阵容还远吗？
更玩不了了，因为蝰蛇是一个重要的一环，
已经彻底丧失了5烟的可能性。明白。那在发现这个英雄削弱之后，你现在有没有什么想要对设计师说的话呢？
我希望他的毒烟可以继续回收，但是他可以在就是读秒吧，读10秒、20秒钟去用吧，不然这样一个毒烟，我觉得很难玩。
明白，可以削弱，但是稍微适当一点，让
也坑。
明白。那再一次感谢球球选手，也感谢大家在5一假期的时间来到现场和我们一起看比赛。那我们的赛后采访到这里就先结束了，接下来让我们把镜头交给解说席。
Woo, choo-choo. He's such a little sweetheart. Everybody say thank you for Sprite for translating some of those. So the main ones is they don't want to have a main pick. And to be honest, when they're winning on all of the maps, they want to not go into Shanghai or playoffs with a set pick. Said they need to learn how to adapt to fade comps, which makes sense against FBX. And it's funny that Swordline was taking some of the pistols and using them again. He's talking about Viper nerfs. What did he... anything in particular? Oh, I got a response from Gorilla. I'll share it. Gorilla said no points for playoff wins as far as he knows. So I think the VLR on Wikipedia is wrong.
已经可以不用玩 Viper， 不用去玩蝰蛇了。而且我们也知道，其实球球他是非常崇拜 Nets， 或者说有在 Nets 身上学习到很多东西。那同样
，I know the extra point is because they got like a buy and stuff, but in all honesty, I think that that's just an oversight. He says that Viper is gone. Yeah, that's cap. But to be fair, this is the perfect time. Like, Shanghai couldn't have been a better event for China's region, where you have the meta changing so much, and all of these other international teams, as well as being able to scrim Pacific, to be able to see what comps they come up with, right? So, like, EDG, even if they don't make Shanghai, they can play up against some of the international teams to see what they're cooking up and take it in whatever direction that they want. We learn that from other strong teams from other regions. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, you do want to have kind of like a choice that you lean towards. But I do like the idea of EDG trying to vary up their main pick this stage. Because their Sunset's good, their Icebox is like looking a lot stronger, better comp. Their Bind has been well practiced, their Ascent has been well practiced. Despite losing both those maps against FBX, their Breeze looks good. Yeah, it's really only Lotus that they're not playing at the moment, and maybe Split could be... Have they really played it that much? I don't think so. Looks like EDG learned a lot from Madrid. Yeah, I mean, they don't get any excuses anymore. This league is equally as important as the other leagues now. You're not in there early, like... I mean, China as a region are going to be like, we're going to go at this hard. We need to be international contenders, otherwise we're going to fall off. It's pivotal for China to be world contenders as quickly as possible, which is why some teams have really risen to the occasions and why some teams have fallen off with the amount of pressure. It's not only representing JDG, it's JDG representing Chinese esports in the new big esport that's coming out. How was Delby today? I wasn't watching. So we can check. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Where did the game go? Oh. Average 144, really rough. 2 first deaths, 2 first kills. Spitfires 8 and 7, that's fine. Kung Kung 9 and 6, 4 and 3, 3 and 1. Like Smoggy was doing so much. Monk B 2 and 8. This is atrocious. Whichever way. Which was the worst map? 1 and 1. So it was literally just on Icebox. He was straight up feeding. And Bunt was 0 and 4. Like, good grief, man. Like, this is good though. Spitfires and Kung Kung, like, sort of trading first kills, first deaths a lot. Hadong dying first a lot, but he was lurking quite a lot too. Like, Monk, come on, man. Edward be targeting the controllers. I mean, there were rounds where we just saw Monk just run out into stupid territory. And also, he's trying to go for the plant too, right? So, some crazy-ass moments. Yeah, China having a lot more competition, being able to scrim consistently against Pacific is great for them too. Yeah, rough day. Rough day for all gamers, but it's still alive for them. But yeah, I'm not convinced on this. Total points, we got 6 from the stage with 5 wins. And it's assuming that they get like a bye because they get to this point, that they get an extra point. Did Gen G get an extra point? Is that clear? Wait, how do we see it again? How do we just get there? Oh, here. So Pacific got 3 points for winning kickoff, and then they won 4 games. They won 3 games, so they get an extra point there. Right. So it still counts for them. I don't know. Until I see, like, somebody confirming it from Riot, I'm not going to believe it. They won the group, which gives them a single point. Oh, so people are confusing it. So if you top the group, you get an extra point. You don't get that extra point because you get a bye. Right, that makes a lot more sense. Because people are saying, like, you get points for winning games in playoffs, which you don't. But you get an extra point if you top the group. That makes so much more sense. So DRX is 6 points here, not because they get a bye into this stage, so this would be like a, you know, if Team Secret win this, they'd get a point. That's not true. It's because both of them top the group that they get an extra point. That makes so much more sense. No points playoff. Yeah, that's what I was saying, but I started this stream and everybody was like, you're wrong, Ryan. I'm like, I don't think I am. Let me answer Gorilla then. Yeah, if you win playoffs, you get 3 points. Does it say here? So, like, I guess it wouldn't. Teams are awarded 1 point per match win. But that has to be, it has to be very, very clear. Yeah, group victory. Aha, here we go. So like a match victory is a match in groups, but group victory is topping the group. That isn't very well, like group victory and match victory is a little bit vague, isn't it really? Yeah, the wording is super odd. No wonder people are getting so super, like, fucking confused. Because you go group victory, 1 point per victory in group, and then match victory is, like, for, yeah. Like, if I'm Liquipedia, I'm, like, I put, like, an asterisk here, you know, and then put, like, topping the group. Check the link. I mean, it's a half link, for one. Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Wait, what the fuck? 1 point per match win during stage 1 regular season, 1 point for each match win earned by during mid-season season playoffs. What does that mean? One point for each match win or earned by during mid-season and season playoffs. So that's the 3 points there. So you do get points for winning playoffs.
来到5位竞技场，我是解衰的。
好，大家好，我是解说1703。那同样的要提醒一下大家
I don't think that's true. Like, genuinely, I'm so confused.
来到8.08的一个版本，我们也知道了是
Is this just the fucking Americas thing?
还没有来到时装到我们比赛的一个赛场里面，但是同样的，我觉得这个削弱很有可能
Is there like a...
后续比赛，比如说像上海大师赛这样很关键的一
I
个
want to see if there's an EMEA article that says the
也
same.
要提前对这些东西去做适应和研究。
对，这个可能会对队伍的赛训组提出一个更高的要求啊。这个两边都得做准备。但不管怎么样，对于当下的这10个选手来说，他们会把注意力完全锁定在
Top teams in Group Alpha and Omega will receive a bye to the second round. The remaining 4 teams will compete to the... Yeah, that's single elimination. Is there anything about champions points? To start, Kamikov received 3 points for their victory in the EMEA kickoff. Sorry, let me close this because it's just restarting the stream. For stage 1, 1 point is awarded per match win and 1 point is awarded for both playoff teams with a bye. The winner of playoffs receives 3 points. For Masters, both winners will also receive 3 points. 1 point is awarded to both playoff teams with a bye. So, one of these 2 regions is wrong. But we don't know which, because EMEA is saying that you get a point with your bye. This one's saying that you get a point for each playoff one. So now I understand why people are super fucking confused, because the EMEA article says one thing and the Americas article says another one. So we need to do, we're doing a full best of 3. We're seeing what Pacific has to say about this. Everything you need to know. This is where it goes. Points are randomly assigned to teams that you're just like, oh, motherfucker, come on. Does it even say? I don't think it even says about points. They're like, Pacific's like, we don't know. We're not answering. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere on it. It's the kickoff article? Oh, yes, you are right. That's why. I was like glossing over it. Here we go. This is the one. Oh, let's see what it says. Schedule, points. Anything about points? Does it still... Photo booths, no. Cross streaming, ticketing, events. Schedule. Teams will also earn a champion point for each match won. So it doesn't specify. Top 3 teams from each group will pass on to playoffs. Teams will also earn a champions point for each match won, with the winner of stage 1 receiving 3 additional champions points. So it's insinuating that playoffs would get it. Stage 2 will maintain the same alpha. Like, why can that not be clear? If fucking Valorant Champions points are so important, can we at least get to see whether teams get points at playoffs or not? Because you've got this one saying, no, you just get it when you get a bye. This one said you get wins for each fucking playoff, and then Pacific's like, oh, and China's just doing its own fucking thing in the corner. Like, it's like, if this is what the season is built around, can we at least get some specifying points? Can we not have it where each of these articles are about, like, it feels like they genuinely don't know. Oh, this is so annoying. So where does it say for points? Sorry. Let's just control F. My eyes are glossing over the amount of like flashbangs this is. 1 point is awarded per match. I'm just going to screenshot these because I want to put this in a tweet because this is ridiculous. Where's points here? Like, I'm not being stupid here, right? Like, I'm not viewing this weirdly. It's literally like, here you get a point for match win during playoffs. Match win playoffs. Match win, playoffs. You get 1 point per match win in playoffs. That's what America's saying. If you go over to EMEA, they say 1 point is awarded per match, and 1 point is awarded to both playoff teams with a bye. And then the winner of playoffs receives 3 points. It doesn't say you get a point per playoff win. Here, match win during playoffs, 1 point. Here, Pacific's just like, ugh. Does it say anything else about points? No, it just says points are important. Pacific's not even sure. Match win could include playoffs. It just doesn't seem... 1 point is awarded per match win, and 1 point is awarded to both playoff teams with a bye. So you're saying that, like, because it's for stage 1 and stage 2, that includes the entirety of it. But the thing is saying that it isn't that. It's like, I'm talking to teams that are like, I'm pretty sure we don't get points if we win in playoffs. Like, why is it so ambiguous? Like, at least if America's is, like, even if America's is wrong, at least it's clear. This is... But I don't blame VLR. Like, if it ends up being that you don't get points per, like, playoff win... For one, Liquipedia and VLR are not wrong, because you get a point for topping the group and getting the bye. But, like, if they're wrong about the other stuff, I don't blame them, because it's super confusing. It's so dumb. I'm arguing for something I disagree with a minute ago. Nothing makes sense. Yeah. As if the format isn't confusing enough, you know? That's my, like, it couldn't be any more convoluted. So, like, I'm going to tweet this out. I'm not even going to write fucking thingy, a strongly worded letter. Let me... I'm seeing so much confusion on this topic. Do teams get a... What are they called? Champions points? Championship points by winning a series in playoffs. I've heard that they don't, but the America article says they do, and EMEA is super vague. Can anyone from Riot answer this, please? I'm so confused. There we go. Good grief. Yeah, some teams are just screwed, because the worst part is, and this is the really frustrating thing. I have stayed way too longer than I thought I was going to. The more frustrating thing is, sorry, this is Champions Points. Let's go Pacific. Is this stage 2? Yeah, kind of is. So for stage 1, if we go to Pacific, my monitor's just gone off, so give it a second. Oh, I'm confused, man. Just tip me back to this one, please. Thank you. Right, so you have these two groups, where the groups play the opposite teams. Group teams in Alpha play up against Omega. And then from those games, within your own group, the top 3 decide who's going to playoffs. In the second stage, you have the teams playing within their own group. But instead of being decided by the group standings of the people that you're playing with, it's decided overall by how many points that you have. So what's the point in putting them in groups in the first place? That's my question. Like, surely you want, like, I know why this team isn't playing their group now instead of this group. It's because there's no time. Like, this this stage has more games in it than next stage. So they can't swap it back around because that would be too many games and then it would sort of clash. Yeah. It's not strength of schedule. It's just there are only so many weeks before Shanghai that you can't play this group and then this group play this group. It's too many, like, series. So, yeah. Groups are the same. No, there's more games. Whichever way you look at it. We've done the maths on this. We did it last time, so I'll do it again. So, if we do it like this, so if we have the stage it is now, where we have stage 1 and then stage 2. This is... So, the alpha group would have to play 6 series. So, that's the alpha group, and this is omega. They have to play 6 times, because you have 6 opponents. For the omega group, you have to play 5 times. And then for season 2, group alpha have to play 4 times. Because there's only 4 teams in their group. And omega still need to play 5 times. So this is like 11 series. Obviously, it's a little bit more like head-to-heads and stuff like that. And then this is 9. So ideally, you want it to be... Or maybe there's like not enough games to fit this in between Shanghai and Champions without their feeling that there needs to be an appropriate break. But I find it just confusing. Like, this is done off standings, despite none of these teams actively playing against each other, so you don't have head-to-heads. You can't accurately tier these teams well off each other when you don't have head-to-heads. You know? Add sideways? No, because it's like an alpha team has 6 series to play, an omega team has 5 series to play. But yeah, like I understand, like, by the end of stage 2 playoffs, you want it to be that everybody's played each other, so you do have those accurate head-to-heads. But if you're going to do this, I think, like, if they're going to do it next year where you have 6 teams, have it, please have it so you have, like, a group stage playing amongst each other. So head-to-heads going into an international event are good. Not based off overall aggregate points. Like, it feels to me that, like, Riot, I think, would have had to have simulated a lot of this stuff. Like, having logistical people to work out what's the best schedule to have that's got strong competitive integrity, yet also fits in with the, like, big events that they have. But I really just hope for next year that it's like, this is the most convoluted, frustrating format that we've had, and we've had a few. And we've had bad, like, the problem with it, I guess, is like, we've had formats in the past that have just been bad to watch and bad for the teams. Here, it's really bad for the teams. It's good for the viewers to an extent, but it's ruined by how convoluted it is. Because we've had so, like, the fact that we have a group this close is ridiculous. The EMEA, it's so impossible to tell who's making playoffs. But it's not like if this is teams, like, being this close amongst each other, you do have head-to-heads to decide it. And it's a bit easier to follow of, like, oh, well, like, Fnatic have beaten Vitality, so if they lose and Vitality lose, the head-to-head Fnatic wins, so they would go up, blah, 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 blah. But, like, it is impossible for people to follow what the fuck is going on. There's a point where I think even the broadcasters have stopped caring. They go, if they win, they should get in. You can't do permutations off this, because there's no, like, head-to-heads. There's no... It's done off round and map differential. So it is quite literally impossible to work it out in some of these cases. So, yeah, for me, it's just... I find it really difficult to follow along with this. Even with China, I'm like, I have to go to Liquipedia to check. Because I would try and do permutations for stuff like Polaris and like EMEA in the past. Like, I tried to do the probability of stuff. But here, I don't think it's really possible to try and guess what it's going to be beforehand without just fucking about with it for a while. Oh, sorry. I feel like I've just gone on this kind of rant let's see what the replies are. Leo Faria. I guess it's saying that, like, you don't get an award. Yeah, I don't know. It is not clear in the slightest. And it's not like I'm the one that's getting super confused about points and stuff and not getting for playoffs. Like, literally every pro that I've spoken to has told me that you don't get points in playoffs. So it's a bit of a bad sign where the people that play this game for a living are the one that, like, actively play this game and should be following along with it. It'd be much better next year with 12 teams. Yeah, then we have 13 teams a year after that, so that'll be even more fun. But I personally, I just find it really annoying that, like, for people that are doing this as a job, they're not sure. Why not do a best of one for all the teams who are round robin? Because that would be a hell of a lot worse. Nobody wants BO1s. Not even the coaches declared, no. I've literally got, like, coaches and stuff sending me screenshots of the rule book. I'm just very, very confused. So I didn't know, really. So I asked the players and they told me that. That's where I got my stuff from. Because you've literally, well, like, that's the thing. You've got people like, what was Zeish's tweet? Like, I'm not talking on my fucking ass, am I? Because maybe Zeish said it as a, like, going to Shanghai isn't worth it unless you're winning the event. Yeah, I think that was more like going to Shanghai. Like, going to Shanghai isn't worth it. Going to playoffs might not be. Yeah. But I was just double checking because he was, like, saying that going to teams that go to Shanghai are at a strict disadvantage. Teams who qualified Shanghai have time to work for stage 2. Actually, better to not qualify for Shanghai and do stage 2, have a chance of making champions. Okay, yeah. So that makes more sense. So point wins seem to be pretty good. Because I was saying, what would stop teams from just trying to bomb out of playoffs earlier if they don't get points for it? Yeah. That makes sense, though, with, like, as I was saying, going to Shanghai is pointless because you don't get points. But I think getting points at Shanghai would be worse, I think. Who wins, EDG or AG? EDG won. But I don't know. I don't mind being wrong on it, but it's the fact of, like, how has it got to this point where teams are going into the last week of playoffs where they think that it's one way when it's not? So, yeah. Fuck knows. Anywho, so yeah, tomorrow we have Wolves versus JDG. Wolves still playing for playoffs. JDG can't, but and a point and a win would do so much for them for next year. Going 0-5 would be pretty disastrous for their chances. But also Wolves, I think they've only got 2 wins. Yeah. 2 wins across 6 games kind of leaves you in a really terrible spot for next stage because you only have 4 games then. And if you don't make playoffs, your year might be done too. Are you going to stay for EMEA? No. Sorry, I should have been more clear on that. Because I mean, there's been a lot of people around, but I was just wanting to look into this a bit more. Because, yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I didn't expect the series to be that quick. And the fact they started an hour earlier means that, yeah, I was like, I'm not free until like 4 o'clock, but it's 2:30. So I am free for a bit. But, yeah, there's no point in me staying around, I don't think. How many teams qualify through playoffs and how many through Champions points? For each of the regions, so the 16 teams, oh my god. 16 teams, the top 4 for each region, China, EMEA, Americas Pacific. The top 1 with points instantly qualifies for champs, and then it's free through playoffs. And it's 6 teams that make playoffs, so like that. 3 out of 6 of them go to champs. That makes sense? Next stage we'll have more games. Yeah, and just more of like a balanced schedule. This year was always going to be a little bit like last minute, a little bit fucked up schedule, fucked up formats because it is like short notice. So yeah. Isn't there the last seed is top of champs points? I could be wrong. Yeah, whoever is the top of the most amount of champions points at the end of stage 2 goes straight to champs. And then 6 teams from here to here. The team with 6 games only play 4 games next split. Yeah. So if you're in the alpha group and you're like, you know, if Nova lose against Tech, which is very doable, they'll have 1 point. And they need to win all of their other games. You've got teams that are already, like, teams that are going to be in playoffs. If they get points, they're already going to be on 5 points. So if these teams, like, sort of do well in playoffs, like, you're fucked. You're just completely screwed. If you're... It's not too bad for JDG and Tyloo because you do have 5 games here, so you're halfway in. But you've played more than half of your group games if you're in this group already. And some of those games you've had to play 2 in 1 week. So you've had so, like, little time to prep. Like, if you're at the bottom of an alpha group, your season's almost done, pretty much. Which sucks, but... it's the way it is. Right. I actually want to send you to somebody that's sort of in a similar position as me. Ish. Somebody that started streaming a lot more regularly. I hope you like League of Legends because I actually want to do a solid for Quickshot. Because he's not doing LEC at the moment. He's doing a lot more streaming. He's been doing Baldur's Gate and stuff. So I figured whilst I have the audience, I guess, for it, I'll do him a solid and get people to come across. Because, yeah, he's trying out the new arena mode, which seems pretty cool. So, yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Go watch Leggy later. Tell him I said hi. And we're back for China tomorrow at midday. So see you then in about, like... 22 hours, 21 hours. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, YouTube people as well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Where is YouTube? Sorry.